Hello, good morning, welcome to Sewing Quarter. I'm Natasha McCarthy, you've got me all morning, and also the fabulous Lucy Brennan is in with us for a couple of hours this morning as well, and she will be doing such things as this, part of our mini quilt series, get my tongue around that one, and here's how today is shaping up for you. Let's take a look. So 8 a.m. we've got miss it, miss out fabrics. The way that these work, and we've got fat quarter bundles in here, which we rarely have, is that these will be ones that we either can't get back, won't get back, are trying to get back, but don't know when we'll get back. But basically, if you've seen a fabric in there and you simply must have it, now is your chance to get it or miss out. Then 9 a.m. is the sunrise quilt, which I've just given you a little cheeky glimpse of. And this is with Lucy Brennan. We've done a mini quilt like this. It's part of a little series, which is really lovely. So maybe you've got a wall hanging thing going on, then this is a lovely addition to that. That's at 9 a.m. 10 a.m. Creative Grid Stripology is back. Oh yes, we do. I think that deserves a whoop whoop. If you've been waiting for that, gosh, we've got both sorts in today. So one of those we haven't had on air since December, another since January. So if you are a Sky viewer, there's a good chance you've never seen it before. Dun, dun, dun. And then 11 a.m. folder and pockets. Now this is fabulous. If you have ever fancied making your own lever arch folder, covers and having pencil cases for inside, that is the show for you. Sewable PVC. It's all here. It's all here this morning. Now, if you are a book lover, and I know that there are lots of you out there who love a good book, then why not head to our website and have a good peruse of all of the books that we have on our website for you to buy, because this is happening today.
We've got an exclusive deal for you today with a 24-hour promotion on our books. For one day only, enjoy 20% off all of our books with the code BOOKWORM. Whether you need to stock up on Sashiko tips.
So that doesn't want to work this morning, but if you use the code BOOKWORM, you'll get 20% off all of our books on the website today, so do take a little look at that. And yeah, but you do have to use the code, so that's BOOKWORM, that is your code today. Any issues with that, then give us a call, 0800 112 4433, and we'll see if we can get the little glitches out of that for you. Now let's have a look at the website, as I mentioned it, www.sewingquarter.com. There it is. Oh, look, there it is. There is your bookworm thing on there. So if that's on the very first page that you come to our homepage, there's always that banner with various things that scroll through. There it is. So if there are books you've seen on the show, books, just take a look. We sell so many books, and they're absolutely beautiful. Some are just aspirational, some are informative, tutorials, all sorts. Do take a look because you get 20% off today. Is that to celebrate World Book Day a bit late? I don't know. Let's say yes. Now, if you head to watch, you can watch us live, and we're in HD on our website, which is really nice. If you want to get in for that close detail, then there it is. And then you can message the studio. So we always love to hear from you. And so, yeah, that's the little message box there. If you've got lots to say, or you want to email in a photo, then that's an email which will be info@sewingquarter.com. I'll get that right. Where's my brain today? But all of the products from today's show will go on underneath. So as soon as we start with Miss It, Miss Out, all of those fabrics will be there. It's clear because we haven't started yet. We're about to. Oh, yes. Now, this is the quilt that we're going to do next hour. The email address that you need to send us in pictures of maybe some of your mini quilts is here. studio@sewingquarter.com. Yes, yes. Fabulous. Now, I promised you fat quarters. I've got some stunning ones for you today. Miss it, miss out. So let's start. Yes, you've already spied it, haven't you? Haha. K Facet. This is the biggest, I believe, K Facet bundle that we have done. Look at all of those beautiful colours. Absolutely stunning. Now, this is from the Sunshine range. It does have all of those. Now, this is 33 pieces in here. 33 K Facet fat quarters. But look, it goes from all of the wonderful browns and earthy tones and all of the way through. You've got it in your yellows, you've got it in your reds. Now, the way that Kaif works is that he is, I like to think of him as the king of colour. So often his patterns will come back in different colours. This is the sunshine range. So if you might have it in different colours, there was the peacock range, the island range, there was all sorts of different colour ranges. But this is the sunshine range, and it's absolutely beautiful. I think there was sunshine and shade. This is the sunshine version, and it's just exquisite. So if you want that vast array, it is a little Kaif indulgence this morning. But look, so you see you've got the snails there in the pink, but then you've also got the snails in the earthy tones down there. So you will have different colours, different variations of the same pattern throughout there, but every single one absolutely exquisite. And this bundle includes material, fabrics and designs from, Kaif likes to call them the Three Musketeers. So there's himself, there's Brandon Mabley, and there's Philip Jacobs, who all work together. So the floral ones will be Philip Jacobs, the really quirky, like the can-can dancers and things like that, they are Brandon Mabley, and Kaif does all the colours. There's Kaif in there as well, and he says that they are the Three Musketeers of fabric. They work together, and he brings in that colour. His eye for colour is all in there. So you get 33 fat quarters in there. That's $142.99. So if you absolutely love your Kaif, this has been a big love, this one, that there's some Kaif in there. Oh, it's just beautiful, absolutely exquisite. So there's all sorts of designs in there. We will reorder Kaif. We're not reordering Kaif, but we will not get this particular selection back again. When this one is gone, it's gone. How many of these do we have, Producer Hannah? Do we have lots? 3. That's all we've got left. That's it. 3 in the whole company. So if you want this morning, treat yourself. It won't be back. $142.99. We've only got 3 of those. There we go. Now, I think we've only got 1 of these, haven't we? 1 and 1 only. Whew, this is Tim Holtz. Now, again, we will reorder Tim Holtz, but sometimes it's difficult to get hold of. And here, what you have here is 25-piece fat quarter bundle. This is your foundation collection. Now, a lot of you, if you are paper crafters, will know Tim Holtz from his distress inks and his beautiful papers that he brings. But this, he's managed to get that shabby chic look in fabric, and it's absolutely exquisite. He brings that yesteryear feel and that distress look to fabrics. It's very, I don't know if this is the actual one, so I won't open it just in case it is. But you've got some florals in there. You've got, you've got the lovely rulers. I don't know if you can see there. The rulers there. So beautiful colorways. They are, I think these look lovely with leather sofas and things like that. And in, it can be very much a masculine fit. Oh, look, there's that surfer that we like, Producer Hannah. Yeah, there he is. So you've got all sorts on here. The ruler one is fabulous as well. There's an awful lot going on in here. So this is the last one in the company. Oh, it's the butterflies. Oh, that's beautiful. Some of these have kind of a Victoriana feel to them. And the butterflies in red as well. I do like a spot of Tim Holtz in my stash. I'm going to be honest. My last fat quarter bundle that I bought from Tim Holtz is all ironed, ready to go. I don't know what to do with it yet. I'm at that stage. So $99.99, 25-piece fat quarters. Tim Holtz normally flies out the window, which is why there is only 1 of these left. This is from the foundation range. Although this is saying eclectic elements. Oh, yeah, there we go, foundations. And so this is the foundation parts of the eclectic elements range. Beautiful. Now, pop, please. Okay, the way it works is that if you have that in your basket, you need to check out, because otherwise that's the only way to confirm it. With only 1 of those, it's fastest finger wins this morning. Now, our last fat quarter bundle. Here we go, look at these. Now, these are open. I can take a look at these. These, I've got to open this one up, Producer Hannah. Look at this. Now, less than 10 of these. This is by Margot Eleanor. Google her, because her work is beautiful. And just look at that. Isn't that divine? So just beautiful. We only have 9 of these. This is Stories and Songbirds. Margot is just an amazing artist. We won't get this collection back. I'm sure we will get some more of hers in because, well, it's just beautiful. That fat quarter is, I'm going to put that to one side because it's one of my favorites. Here we go. Oh, and you get it in a different colorway as well. So you get it in kind of the turquoisey one as well. Beautiful. And you also get it, look at that, with the neutral background too. So hang on, I'm trying to put these in sort of color. See, that's la 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 la. And you get that different color of that one. Oh, look at that. Lovely, isn't it? And so you get the different sizes, you get your larger ones already in your basket. Please check out, that is the only way you're going to secure that order, even if you just get it for this one. Oh, I love that. Look at that bird. Hang on, I'm going to have to unfold it again. Sorry. Love it. It's beautiful. You know, sometimes there's just one that calls to you in a collection that makes you want the whole thing. And for me, it's this, look at that. Just look at that. Do you want to see it in the other colorways? Isn't that beautiful? You've got 3 versions of this colorway. All in this. Look at that. Yeah, isn't it a bit special? And then you also get, oh, now this is rather nice too. Look at that. Just by changing the color. And this is where people like Keith and Margot, when they start playing with color, the difference in feel is amazing. Now I would imagine, you know, if you wanted to, say you wanted to do a cushion with the 3 different colors, I'd maybe put a little bit of rickrack just to divide those. You could pattern match as well, couldn't you, through there? And so it just blended from one through to the other. It'd be amazing. Okay, only 6 of these. 3 have already gone, just 6 left. We only came to air with 9. We won't be getting this particular collection, which is a shame. Real shame. Hey, I wonder if we could ever get this sort of fabric by the ½ meter. It's a bit good, isn't it? We'll have to have a look. Look at these. This was our very first foray into the wonderful world of Margot Eleanor, but it's proved incredibly popular. Already incredibly popular this morning. So if you are after this, please do get it. Now, look, you've got various other prints, different sizes of print too, because if you're quilting, you want that. You want that difference in size, that difference in scale, also that different in tone. So you've got that, which is beautiful. See little ditsies there, working beautiful. So that's the fat quarter department done this morning. Margot's nearly gone. What else has gone? Oh, Tim Holtz gone. Well done. Excellent. Right. Should we go ½ meters now? Yeah. Now, we're going to start off with Dashwood. If you are new to us, then hello, good morning. Lots of you finding us all the time. Yes, we are absolutely dedicated to sewing and quilting and dressmaking, all those things that we absolutely love. If you would like to buy fabric by the ½ meter, then you absolutely can. If you need, say, 1 meter or 2 meters, then that's fine. We will cut it in one continuous length. If we have the stock of it with Miss It, Miss Out, you just need to adjust the quantities in the quantity box. So if you wanted 1 meter, you would put 2 in the quantity box because we're selling these by the ½ meter. Okay. So this is going to be a little bit fast-paced because we've got all of these to get through. So here we go. We're going to start off with Dashwood. Some of you just go for Dashwood because you always have Dashwood and it's the colorways that you like. They tend to use the same kind of color palette, so you can mix and match their ranges. So there it is. We have 10 meters of this left in the company. It's £6.50 per half meter. Dashwood always changing their collections, and so we try and keep up with them. It's a bit of a race. And that is your Harvestwood flower fabric, one of producer Hannah's favourites. She loves that mustard colour. Oh, she says ochre, I say mustard. It's all good. Oh, you're going ochre, because it sounds classier. Okay, it's fair enough. Wayne's here. Good morning, Wayne. Thank you. He's going to do a bit of folding for me, because we're quite comfortable with the fact that I'm a bit rubbish at folding fabric. Now, ooh, Liberty. Pink leaf trail. 2 meters of this in the company. We are very, oh look, it matches my top. We are very lucky to be able to get quilting weight Liberty fabrics. This is, I think they're only starting. We're just about to get their second quilting weight collection in. So this is from their first quilting weight collection. So we will be moving on to their next one later on this month, actually. Jenny Smith is in to do that, just to give you a little heads up there. So if you want to add your beautiful Liberty Pink leaf trail in, there it is, $7.99. Was I not meant to say that that's happening later on? I only know because I did the VT for it yesterday. It's how I find out what's going on in the company. Right, so that is one of our Liberties. Next one of our Liberties, oh, this is the Newland. Now, this is in cream. I've also got it with a sort of pinky background too. So I've got 2 different versions of it. I think this is one that we look at and we know it's Liberty. Straight off, you know that that is a Liberty print. How many of these? 7 meters of this and then it's gone. Are you halfway through a project? You won't be able to get it back again, so get it now. We will be moving on to their next collection. So $7.99, or it might just be, do you know what I would like to do with this, Producer Hannah? I think that this would be beautiful as binding. Absolutely beautiful. I've got some gorgeous fleece at home that I'm making up into blankets, and I think that just a plain fleece with a beautiful Liberty binding on it just makes it, and a little bit of a plique on it, exquisite. You might be more comfortable with the quilter's weight. You know, sometimes the lawn weight is a little bit too light for some of us to work with if you're not used to it. If you're not a dressmaker, you're not used to working with it. So fabulous that Liberty went, hey, you know what? There's a whole world of quilters out there. We're not serving them. Let's make some Liberty that is quilting weight cotton. So they've gone through their iconic prints and they've found ones that they think we absolutely love, and they've updated them for us quilters, just for us quilters. And now this is the other new, and this is it with a pink background, so maybe softer. Oh, even less of this. How much? 6 meters, that's it. That's it. I mean, that's only 12 half meters, so if you 12 of this, put it in the basket, it's gone. And that's if you're only getting a half meter. So that's $7.99, and that's the pink Newland large. I think a little girl's dress would be lovely, or actually the backing of a little girl's quilt, of a baby quilt. We were saying this the other day, that if you put any Liberty, it's stylish and it's timeless. It's something that people even recognize. You see, the beauty of it is, I mean, when I wasn't particularly into quilting when I first had Freddie, and my aunt sent me a quilt, and I didn't appreciate until I started quilting just how much time, love and effort had gone into it. But if you recognize Liberty fabrics, then you absolutely recognize that timeless quality. And that's going to grow with them. You know, that's going to be a timeless quilt that they keep, because we're making heirlooms. All the time we're making heirlooms. There you go, Wayne. Have some Liberty. I might want it back. Now, cotton sateen. Cotton sateen is obviously cotton. It's just how it's been played with that gives it that lovely sheen. Now, perfect for your dressmaking. That's what we got this in for. Look at that, lovely and wide. So that is your dressmaker's width there. $6.49 per half a meter. This is your cotton sateen, leaves fabric on a white background. It is 150 centimeters wide, so that is your dressmaking width. It's still 100% cotton. It is how this is finished. It's how it's, I think it's mercerized. Is it mercerized? Have I got the right word there? I can't remember. All your washing instructions on the selvage as well, which is really handy. Not all of them have that, but there it is. So if you can't quite remember, there it is. You can always sew that into your dress, can't you? There you go. Sorry, Wayne. Lovely drape, by the way, lovely drape. That's obviously what I'm doing. It's lovely, lovely drape. Now, sticking with your cotton sateen, how about this one? Again, 150 centimeters, selvage to selvage, so dressmaking, we've got you covered, and that beautiful, look at that movement. Woo. Now this kind of sort of got hidden ladies in it. Flowers and hidden ladies. Yeah. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? It feels a little bit exotic, this one, because of all those large flowers. I feel like we're in a hothouse. Do you know when you go to the botanical gardens and they have those enormous flowers? There you go, Wayne. There's another one. Oh, he's still folding up the other one. I promise I won't open them all up. Now, if you've loved the leaves, why not grab it with a blue background? And again, this feels lovely on the skin. It's cotton, so it's going to be breathable, but you've just got that lovely finish on there. £6.49, so it's still 100% cotton. And again, that's very important for a lot of us. You know, you want to be able to have your skin breathe and have it feel nice, not get too hot in summer. So if you're after 100% cotton, here it is. But again, ideal for your dressmaking. Ba 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 ba. Whee! Ooh. Lewis and Irene. Now, I've got 3 different Lewis and Irenes here. They are rather gorgeous. Now, hang on, I've got to remember which range. This is, we won't be able to get this one back again. Oh, it has got, now I'm going to go straight in and show you the selvage here. Because look, can you see in there, you've got that gold in there, which is just gorgeous. Now, this is from the Country House Floral on Damask. But look how rich and gorgeous that is. So Lewis and Irene is a UK company named for their grandparents, or parents, depending on which generation you want to deal with. It's now the grandchildren who are mainly running the business. Still a family affair, and each collection has a little story behind it. And this is £6.49 per half a metre. Big fans of Lewis and Irene here. And I just think that richness in there. And as that moves, so if that's on a quilt or something like that, as that moves, you will get that little opulent flash and that luster, which you also get on the Peacocks, which I will show you in just 1 minute. Look at that. I love that. And against that blue, just gorgeous. So that's £6.49 per half a metre. Let's pop that there. Now, the Peacocks, you know I love Peacocks. Now, we only have 3 metres of this in the company, but look, they've got that beautiful metallic finish again. Now, this isn't, you know, sometimes you get a metallic finish on there. Can you just see that? And sometimes it's kind of itchy and scratchy. Not on this. It's so soft. This whole fabric is so soft. So you've got your peacock and your pears. And I love that because the peacock feathers, they do have that luster. They do have that metallic look to them, don't they? So very stunning one, and only 3 metres of that left. So please check out your basket. You just need to be aware of how quickly that's going to go. Right, here we go. Now, sticking with Lewis and Irene again. This is it in a different, isn't it completely different in a different colourway? There you go, look at those two together. Isn't that beautiful? But very different feel on the other fabric. So let's have a look at the lighter one. So again, good to have that choice, I think. And this is it on cream. So this here, rather than that copper like we had on the other one, this has got a gold. Nice. Isn't it beautiful? A little bit more subtle, but incredibly beautiful. It's very, very opulent, this. And it's just £6.49, incredible value. To get that finish on there, amazing. 100% cotton. Now that is 44 inches selvage to selvage. That is your quilter's weight cotton. Now, oh, yes. Amy Reba. Reba. We don't have that much of this. Now, this is from the Jitterbug range. Now, we've loved this because this always starts us talking about gardens, and then we realise how little we actually know. It does look like hydrangea, doesn't it? So £6.99, we can't get this back again. So when it's gone, it's gone. So if you've loved this, and it's a really useful one to blend in all those different colours. Yeah, look at all those greens and some yellows in there, but also if you're merging your greens and your blues, very handy. Not many fabrics manage it. This one does it exquisitely. So £6.99, UXRW86 is your code there. Conservatories, yes, it'd be lovely in conservatories, wouldn't it? Or even if you just want to remember what summer feels like. We had hydrangeas in our wedding flowers. No, it's lovely. Yeah, we raided Mum's garden. Oh, now 2 colorways in this. I like. It feels very grown up, this fabric. This is, here we go. Well, firstly, it's a fabulous price. This is, here we go. This is a heavier weight. So this is 100% cotton, but it's a linen look. So sometimes, you know, people are put off working with cotton because it can crease as soon as you look at it. But this is perfect for your bag making, your upholstery, anything where you need a heavier weight cotton, then this is the one. It's very grand. I do like this. It's $3.99 per half a meter. Yes, yes. Now this is 110 centimeters wide, selvage to selvage, and it's $3.99 per half a meters. We are going to try and get this back. We don't know how long it will take. It is one of those great ones that we use time and time and time again. Perfect in your bag making and things like that. Maybe you've got some cushions that you want to put a new lease of life into, then absolutely great for that as well. Because I know that a lot of you are starting to think about your garden furniture as well. Why not? So that's your blue. I've got it in a burgundy as well. And actually, if you're going for one, why not go for the other? Because the tones work beautifully together. It's nice, isn't it? So this is the second one for you. Again, 110 centimeters selvage to selvage. Again, 100% cotton. Looks like linen, but it's actually cotton. 7 meters here left. Don't know when we can get this back again. We will try, but just bear with us. It's one of those things that we want to, and it might be that the manufacturers change the colors slightly or da-da-da. So if you want exactly this, it's very technical, isn't it? Da-da-da. Da-da-da, yeah. $3.99, HMJQ 10. 7 meters, that's it. That's all we've got. All we've got. At $3.99 per half a meter, that's fabulous, isn't it? There you go, Wayne. Don't go running off with that. It's great value. Oh, now, here we go. This is a range we can't get again. Now, this is from Art Gallery Fabrics. Look at this. Ooh, 5 meters left of this. This is from the Floralia range. I'm racking my brain. I tell you what, Lucy would know. I can't remember who the actual designer was for this, but it was someone pretty high up in the quilty world, I know that much. But their name eludes me right now. But this is Art Gallery Fabrics. Now, Art Gallery Fabrics pride themselves in the quality of the substrate that they use. I had a chat with them about this because I wanted to know. And so the substrate is the base fabric that they use. And they say that, you know, they want it to be of such a quality that you can easily use it for your dressmaking, as well as you can use it for your quilting as well. So if you love it, it's so soft and it drapes you beautifully. And that's because of the quality of that base fabric that they use. They're very hot on that. And so that's what Art Gallery Fabrics absolutely pride them about. You know, companies always have their thing, don't they? And that is their thing. Let's have a look at this. So the same range here, but with your greens and your yellows. Nice. $7.99 per half a meter. We've used this in different bundles, haven't we, for quite a few different things. It's a very versatile fabric. It's got some nice movement, a nice swoosh going on in there. Like a flower, the swoosh, as long as it's not because the cat's knocked it off the windowsill, it's fine. $7.99. TYHN65. What would you use that for, Producer Hannah? Oh, ooh. Would you do a patch cut? And I could see you wearing something in that. I think that would really suit your colourings. And look at the greens going beautifully there. So again, from the same range, so you know those colour tones are going to work. So you see it's taking those greens there and mixing them in there. There you go. Same price for the half meter, $7.99. Nice. There you go, Wayne. Maureen's messaging. Good morning, Maureen. Oh, what were the details on the book? Okay, let's have a little look at that. Go to the website. On our first page, our home page, let's get all technical. On our home page, Maureen, if you have a look, here we go, let's take a look. So this is our home page. There's always that banner that flashes around things that are going on in the company. 20% off books with the code BOOKWORM. So you can get your favorite books, pop those on there. So anything that you see on the show. So it's not just a matter of website only books. This is also books that we'll have on the show as well. So, oh, here we go. Have a look through all of our books. We've got some stunning books. Absolutely, but this is for today only, okay? This is just, I don't quite know why. I'm not going to argue with it. It's great. But just sometimes we like to treat you. So if you've seen books on there that you've been waiting for, because we're not a channel that, you know, gives you lots of sales and stuff like that, because it's just not how we work. You know, we bring you fabrics, we bring them in, they're gone, we move on to the next one. So, you know, that's how we work here. So actually it's a nice little thank you. So 20% off on your books. Use Bookworm. You do have to use that code or ring up 0800 112 4433. Now, Adita Sitar, nice. This is the only one we've got in the Miss It, Miss Out. When I have a country house, this is going to be it. It just so stunning, isn't it? It feels like an oil painting. Do you know what I mean? The artistry in this is just exquisite. Now you see, Adita only learned from her mother-in-law. That's how she got into it. It was thanks to her husband's family. She'd never quilted until that, so we're all grateful there. Isn't that beautiful? We did a teddy bear quilt out of one of the Pam and Nikki Lintop books, and that had this fabric in it, and it was just gorgeous. Oh yeah, there you go, your Pam and Nikki Lintop books. They'll be 20% off, won't they? If you've got quilty friends, you could get 20% off books for them. Present drawer. Oh, have you got a present drawer, Producer Hannah? Yes, me too. What I'd do without my present drawer. Got to delve into there occasionally. Paws. Yes. Animal lovers galore. Dogs, cats. I think these paws are interchangeable. I've only got 10 meters of paws. So maybe you've got the quilters, you go mats. Maybe you're just making a new dog bed. I came home yesterday and Jack has gone. He's just had a little claw of his bed to get it, you know, comfy exactly how he wants it. It's gone through the stitching. New dog bed required. $3.99 for your white paw prints on black. It's really affordable, isn't it? Or maybe you want to make a dog coat out of it. Be super swanky. Monochrome dogs. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, Producer Hannah, I got an email yesterday. Would Eric like to do another modelling job? My Great Dane, you know, he does a lot of modelling. He loves a bit, loves the limelight, he does. Now, this is beautiful. How wide is this, Producer Hannah? Say again. 150 centimetres wide, so perfect for your dressmaking. So this is from John Loudon. Now, I think they're based up north, aren't they? I think they're Liverpool way, I want to say, John Loudon. And again, I think they're third or fourth family generation. So $3.99 for your John Loudon Aqua Flowers fabric on rose, 150 centimetres. This is beautiful for your dressmaking. Little girls' dresses, or I think this would make a lovely backing for a quilt because you've got that extra width. So I often use extra wide fabric like this when I don't want to have to, you know, seam pieces together. So it's seamless, and that is just gorgeous. So you've got, nice. Now, here we go. This is a staple. We will try and get this back in, I believe. Yes, just don't know when. A lovely dusky pink. Everything's matching my top today, isn't it? So this is your dusky pink zigzags. And again, perfect for your dressmaking. Not your dressmaking, sorry, your bag making. Don't make a dress out of this. It's 100% cotton, but it's linen look. So it's that thicker weight cotton, which is why you don't make dresses out of it. You make bags out of it. Yes. Or upholster or whatever. Whatever you're doing with it, enjoy it. Bean bag, yes. Oh yes, dog beds. A little teepee for the kids. Oh, that would be nice. That would be very nice. They're really expensive to buy. Oh, you've seen some on our Facebook fan page, have you, that people have made? Hey, there you go, $3.99. That would be an inexpensive way of making that. Maybe get the kids involved to make it. There you go. QAJQ 58. Lovely. Oh, hello, Amy Butler. Here you are. I've got 3 Amy Butlers. Take out the bone. Yep. I've got 2 of the same collection. Now, this only came out in January. I'm just trying to mix it. Oh, nice. Look at that. Temple tiles. I love this. I just don't know if we've got a tape measure anywhere. I really wanted to measure because if you were to cut these into strips, I wonder if that's going to be a 2.5. Oh, we're getting one. Oh, thank you. Because, well, we've got Stripology coming up. So let's have a look at this top one here. Imagine, because then imagine if you cut your strips, like, and that would be amazing. Yeah. That would be fun. I don't know if it is, but it looks around the 2.5 inches to me. We'll get that sorted. But look, this is $7.49 per half a meter. It's from the Night Music range. Just beautiful. And this only came out, what, last year, this year? This year, beginning of this year. So this is her latest brand new collection. We won't be getting any more of it. Miss it, miss out. We can't get it. But just look at them. Absolutely gorgeous. Hey, you put it sideways on, and it looks like eyes, doesn't it? Oh, okay. So producer Hannah has been, well, she's always influenced by her travels, and she's just been on an amazing trip to India. And I think that surely this has got to have influenced that somewhere along the line. Now, you see, I think, look at that. So this one is mist, this one. So that's the detail on your screen there, $7.49. Here we go. And lots of you just get Amy Butler because you love Amy Butler, and that's fair enough. Not going to argue with that. Look at that, spot on, 2.5 inches. So if you were cutting across like that, then your strip could be, that would be amazing. I like it because then you can get that full effect, or you might want to do it half and half. They're just lovely. I like it when a plan comes together. That's excellent. So they are your 2 different Amy Butlers. And now one other, we had this on my birthday show back in August. And it's called Bone. It takes 2. The colour is bone, and it takes 2. I made an entire bag out of it and then realised I got it round the wrong way. Well, no, because I had it that way, and I thought it looked almost like a lion. But I was very happy with that. I thought, yeah, it looks like a bit like a lion. And then when you actually turn it around, you look at it correctly. Everybody sees something different than me. It's actually, and this made more sense of the name, it takes 2. It's Peacocks. It's actually Peacocks. Yes. Which made it even better. Because I do love a peacock. It's very regal, isn't it, that one? Beautiful. There we go. Right. Ooh. Hoo-hoo. William Morris? Miss it, miss out? We will be getting more William Morris. Not sure if we'll be getting the same collection back in again. I think we'll probably move on to the next William Morris collection. We'll try, obviously, but no, I don't know. I don't know. It was tremendously popular. Now, producer Hannah absolutely adores William Morris. Did you get any? Did you manage to get some? Not the ones you wanted. They went too quickly. Did you produce the show as well? Oh, there's no excuse then, is there? So this basically, obviously, you know, William Morris, do you want to see the, oh, look. This is from the Kelmscut range. Now, he spent a lot of time at Kelmscut, and so this is inspired by that house. But I think that's lovely, sometimes to have that salvage and work that into your work. So you're like, yeah, you know, just threw in a bit of William Morris. Beautiful. So what's happened is it, I can't remember if it's called the William Morris Trust or it's something like that. The people that are like the keepers of William Morris now and his fabrics, they have worked really, really hard to bring his fabrics to life again, slightly new modern colorways. So for example, the next one, how gorgeous is this? I love this one. It is, so, yes. So, Producer Hannah says, I'm just going to fill my house with arts and craft fabric because I can't afford an arts and craft house. But he was one of the movers and shakers for the arts and craft movement. Even, look, just look at this. And it's just one, and even, look, your William Morris in there, again on your selvage. So you've got that, and you know. Oh, was Tula Pink inspired by William Morris as well? I love these neutral tones. I just think this is an exquisite fabric. It's $7.99 per half a meter. Maybe you cover a lampshade with it. Maybe you don't, you know, maybe you just do a very basic cushion. They are so expensive to buy. I've got a lovely William Morris print in my downstairs toilet. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Now, a half meter, 2 cushion fronts. Maybe you want to do this on the back of it. That's, you know, you've got William Morris cushion. How much would you pay for that in the shops? Now, this is sticking with the aqua colour range. So that was your bachelor's button, which I discovered was actually a flower. I thought it was just a wonderful name, but it is actually, that's the flower. But this is the aqua range. So look, you can see how the colours really work together there. So maybe you did want to do, so here we go. The lily leaf is there for you there, $7.99, and then bachelor's button is going to go across the bottom there. But you see, that's what we were saying. You might want that as the front of your cushion. You might want to do the back of your cushion in that, or bind it in that, or whatever you want to do. It's funny, isn't it? We were saying the other day, Producer Hannah, how in this aqua colour, these leaves are so elegant, and yet in the green, it's fresh and zesty. Just the change of colour changes everything. I don't know why I'm always so surprised by that. So green leaf going across the bottom. They are the only 3 that we've got in the Miss It, Miss Out. I think the others went the other day. It's, so some have completely sold out. Some we're trying to get back in. Some are in kits for future shows, so we can't bring them. So you just went crazy for William Morris. So if you missed out and you just want that little bit of William Morris, and then when we bring more to wear, you'll already have some in your stash to then just start to build on. We have to start our collection somewhere, don't we? How beautiful is that? Bachelor's button, yeah. Now then, oh, okay, so talking about someone who was inspired by William Morris, of course, Tula Pink. Now, these are more of a mixer. And this is from her brand new range that we launched, I think it was 7th of February we launched these, when she actually came into the studio. So these, again, let's have a look at all the different colours we've got. These are very, very limited. So we had the whole range. I mean, we had the whole range available to buy. We've never done such a huge fabric bundle before, but we did. This is what we have left of the mixes. Now, if you saw the wonky star, some of these were in the wonky star. And I just think having a really bold, large polka dot is fabulous. And this gives me a feeling of kind of a circus festival feel. Have you got this one, Producer Hannah? Oh, I could see you with this. Yes, this is your agave Pom-Poms, and this is $7.49 per half a metre. Currently 5 meters of this in the company. Now with Tula, she'll bring out a new range and we'll move on to that. She only does 1 print run, so when it's gone, it's gone. This is all we have left, is 5 meters. KJRW 89. There we go. Now this will go across your ranges. Because we had the other day, we had one of her very first owl ones. And that was in this kind of colour range, wasn't it? It was lovely. So the colours you can use across. Oh, are these going to be staple blenders to Tula? So not for us, but for Tula. So we won't get any more of these. But as far as we know, but, you know, never say never. But at the moment, no plans to. Otherwise, you know, one day we might get it back in and they'll say, oh, but Natasha, you said. Now, this is Petunia. This is 3.5 meters left. That's it. That's 7 units. That's all we have left in the company. This is very pretty, isn't it? I love that mix. Again, $7.49 per half a metre. Should we go? Yeah, let's stick with the purple. Let's go for a deeper purple. This is Iris. And that's, again, $7.49 per half a metre. This is from the All Stars range. This is her latest collection. The colourways, of course, work across the ranges. But just a really handy one to have. I just love love a big polka dot. Or a pom-pom. Wow, the colours in this. Did you get this one as well? Oh, you got the stripes in this one, Producer Hannah. You don't have the pom-pom, and now it's really limited. So Producer, there's only 6 metres. So if Producer Hannah goes very quiet, it's because she's buying some. $7.49. This is, oh, you're making makeup bags out of these. Oh, nice. Very nice. JRRW78. Now, you see, we had Tula Pink on the show yesterday, and it just went. Absolutely flew out. Please make sure that if you love this fabric, you get it. What about just patchworking in the dots? Be a bit special, wouldn't it? Maybe you just want to grab yourself a half metre of each and get going. Beautiful. That's your Tula. I can't believe that is in Miss It, Miss Out already. Thank you. Now, this is another one that was fast selling. The next 3, oh, hang on. I've got 4 fabrics left, Producer Hannah. There's only 3. The dark one isn't it? Let's get rid of that one. It's already gone. Right, so this is Fruity Friends. I didn't even see this. Oh, that's a lovely, lovely happy floral, isn't it? So this is $5.99. This is your white floral fabric by Mikawa from the Fruity Friends range. What a happy fabric that is. $5.99. Quilt backing, yeah, fussy cutting. If you're doing your English paper piecing, I'm so pleased to see so many of you English paper piece. Makes me so happy. Only because I've started and I'm really enjoying it, so I'm glad that others are doing it too. Yeah, it is. It's really lovely. Are you still English paper piecing, Producer Hannah? Yeah, yeah. Well, it doesn't matter if all your points match up. It's how you do it. That, you know, the fact you're doing it that counts. More Fruity Friends. Now, you see, this is it, Producer Hannah. Maybe you want to English paper piece a pineapple. Would that be EPPP? An English paper piece pineapple? Maybe. $5.99. Maybe you want to do a kid's lunchbox out of that. I say kids. Actually, me. I'd quite like that as a lunchbox. Happy apples, or are these cherries? They are apples, aren't they? I used to only eat red apples when I was little. And it used to be my treat on Saturday. Mum used to take me into the greengrocer on the way back from my piano lesson. And I remember one day getting my red apple, polishing it, spending ages polishing it on my jumper. And then I dropped it in the road and a car ran it over. I was in floods of tears. Had to go back and, yeah, I know, I was only 4. Had to go back and get another one. It stayed with me. Obviously, the trauma of my squashed red apple. I only eat pink ladies these days. Very fussy about my apples. Very fussy about my apples. My son's exactly the same. Now, these are all from the Fruity Friends range. Look at that. All Mikawa, all 44 inches salvage to salvage, 100% cotton. Look at that. So you've got, if you're going with the floral in there as well, you can see how that picks up. You've got apples going across the bottom. Floral is there. Apples going across the bottom, and the pineapples is now on the website. There you go. But all the same price. But you see, look, you've got those colours, so all work. This is the beauty when you buy into a collection that you've got all those colours that work. Nice. There you go. Let's pop those away now. So if you are just, you know, Fruity Friend yourself up, why not? Right. There you go, Wayne. Thank you, my love. Oh, the Margot fat quarters. We started out with under 10, with 9. Now, a lot of you have got this in baskets. All I can say is if you just keep it in your basket and you don't check out, you run the risk of missing out completely. So the way that it works, and if you're new, you may not know this, we do our P&P per day. So it's $2.95 per day, which means that you can check out. When you see something and it's running low, you can check out and not worry about incurring any extra postage. But what that means is that it's only secured once you check out. And if you're sitting there with it just in your basket, if somebody phones up our call center and there's only like one left, they can take it out of your basket because you are there with your money ready to buy. So it's not secure unless you check out. Doesn't that work beautifully? I'm thinking of a binding to go. Now, we will not be getting these fat quarter bundles again. Look at that, Producer Hannah, with that. Isn't that gorgeous? So different scales if you're using these in your quilting. Oh, gorgeous. Hang on a minute. What about using that with that? Oh, yeah. So you've got all those colors coming through there. And again, you know what we're just saying about ranges. You know, you might want to use that with that because those colors really go. But look, you've also got that color in there, which is picked out in there. So if you want to, you can get really creative with these. Now over here, those colors work together over there. I love these. Oh, they're just, yeah, they are summer and wonderful and fab. Less than 5 of these left, and 3 of you have got it in your baskets. Please. There we go. You can get an idea then. They are your fat quarters. You are getting 12 of them. So a fat quarter is half a half meter, hence it being a quarter, because it's half of a half. Yeah. Do you want to have a look at the William Morris again? Okay, let me move Margot gently over there. William Morris, where are you? Here you are. 1, 2, and 3. Now, very, very new William Morris collection. It absolutely went like hotcakes when we brought it to air. We only have these 3 in our Miss It, Miss Out. Some are completely sold out. I mean, they just went like the strawberries. They just went. Some we will get again. We're trying to get, well, look, we can only get what we can get. So I don't want to make promises that things are going to come back if we can't get them. All I know is that at the moment we have this in the company, which is your bachelor's button. Half the stock we started with this morning has gone. Just this morning, just since we came to air this morning, half of the stock of that has gone. So if you want your William Morris, don't miss out. This is $7.99 per half a meter, KQRW04. Beautiful. I love the muted tones of this. I know we've had it in other colorways, but I love it in that. So yeah, it would. My mum and dad have quite a minimalistic look in their house. Lots of white, and I think that would just look beautiful. Nice. Leaves on Aqua is here, and again, so you've got the same colors from the deeper part of your bachelor's button coming through in your Leaves on Aqua. Very delicate, very elegant, this one. Less than 5 meters of this one left, and of course, don't forget, you've got your William Morris on your selvage as well, so maybe work that in somewhere. A little hint, just to show, you know, hey, yeah, a little bit of William Morris going on there. Why not? And then the green, you see, the green looks so fresh. That looks so elegant, and then this looks so fresh. Just lovely to have a little bit of this working through. So if you want it in the green, we have it in the green at the moment, but I don't know for how long. $7.99. VTRW70. You might be absolutely thrilled. You might have thought that all the William Morris had gone. Well, we've got these 3 left for this hour. And there it is. I love this one. This is my favorite. Beautiful. Oh, the last Fruity Friends, the floral ones. Yes, Producer Hannah. Oh, very popular. Okay, let's have a look at that again. Bing, bing. Bing, Fruity Friends. Is it just the floral one? Just the floral one. It's flying out. But just so that you know, if you've got this in your basket, please check out. It's only $5.99 per half a meter. Now, let me show you what a half a meter looks like. Now, of course, lots of you multi-buying. So that's a meter. So that would be if you put 2 in your quantity. And if I halve that, that will be your half meter. So for $5.99, you get that. Actually, that's got a lovely pattern repeat, isn't it, from afar? Really nice. And then you're getting close and lovely. Nice detailing there. The K Facet Fat Quarter Bundle, oh gosh, only one remaining. So if you wanted to treat yourself to 33 K Fat Quarters, it's very beautiful. This is from the Sunshine K Facet collection. This was the very first thing we came to air with this morning, so if you missed it this morning, don't worry, we still have one of these left. We will get Cave back, but it won't be this Sunshine bundle with your 33 pieces. So he did a Sunshine and he did a Shade collection out of these. Very different colour tones. He's just the king of colour for me. Just exquisite. This might be the one. This might be the actual one, so I won't open it just in case. But if you love your cave, then you start off with your earthy tones, and then you work your way through to your pinks and your yellows. Just gorgeous. There we go. So that's $142.99 there. 33 fat quarter pieces. Beautiful. UWRW24. Again, only one of those now remaining. If you fancy it, treat yourself. It's cave. Everyone will understand. Of course they will. $142.99. Do grab that. Remember to check out your Margot Eleanor because we're running very, very low on that. We only came to air with 9. Lots of you sitting with it in your basket. Please check out. Can't guarantee that. That's the thing with Miss It, Miss Out. If you are in any way unsure as to what is left, just give us a call. It's free to do so. 0800 112 4433. The other thing to remember for today is that we have got 20% off our books just for today. So make the most of that. Have a look on the website, but the code is bookworm. You do have to use that code for that to work. I'll see you in just a couple of minutes.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love. On Thursday the 29th of March, make sure you don't miss a Sewing Quarter exclusive when we're joined by special guest Suzy Jones. Suzy will be launching her book live on air with signed books available to buy exclusively for Sewing Quarter viewers a week before it hits the shops. Her book, Fat Quarter Bags and Purses, is perfect for helping you find ways to use up leftover fabric and comes with beautifully photographed step-by-step instructions. She will be demonstrating 2 makes from her book, including her roomy shoulder bag with contrasting fabrics and a bright bold lining. This make is a must-have. Suzy's also making an arts and crafts caddy, perfect for storing away those bits and pieces essential for any crafter. With handy pockets for needles, this practical carrier will even fit in books so that you're never far away from your next project. So don't miss this on Thursday the 29th of March, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
We've got an exclusive deal for you today with a 24-hour promotion on our books. For one day only, enjoy 20% off all of our books with the code BOOKWORM. Whether you need to stock up on Sashiko tips, want to get quilting with Tula Pink, or have been thinking about catching up with K Facet's patchwork, we've got you covered with this great money off deal. Our range of books covers everything from quilting to dressmaking, from nursery makes to books that show you how to use those little scraps of fabric you can't bear to waste. So get reading and get creative with our range of inspiring reads that are sure to teach you tips and tricks you never even knew that you needed. Enter the code BOOKWORM at checkout on our website and enjoy 20% off all of our books.
We've got something amazing coming for all fans of Tilda, as we've got a TV exclusive on Tilda's brand new book, Sunshine Sewing. We have the TV exclusive until the end of April, so get your copy from us before anywhere else and pore over Tilda's latest sewing creations. The brand new book features 3 full-size quilts as well as pillows, soft toys and fabric bowls, all made in Tilda's charming style. You'll be able to delve into 12 brand new summer projects and get inspired by her countryside themed designs. So add some sunshine into your life with Tilda's brand new book, Sunshine Sewing, available on our website now.
Simply Sewing is a magazine for dressmakers and home sewists who are passionate about fabrics and love to sew with stylish patterns. Each issue is packed with technical know-how, templates and easy to follow instructions to sew yourself quick wardrobe updates, accessories, plushy toys, gifts, bags and more. Plus, each issue comes with a free dress pattern from our expanding trend-led collection. We're proudly flying the flag for contemporary sewing with stylish patterns and beautiful photography to inspire sewists across the globe at every level.
Love Patchwork and Quilting is the best-selling modern quilting magazine that shares your passion for fabric. We publish 13 times a year, featuring must-make projects, essential techniques, interviews, news and reviews from the world of modern quilting. Every issue also comes with a free gift.
Hello, welcome back. I've got Lucy Brennan with me this hour now, and we're going to be doing a lot of quilting because, you know, Lucy does that so well. But a couple of things just to let you know about this morning. You might have seen the adverts. We have got 20% off books. Now, that is just for today. That's from 8 o'clock today through to 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, so just that 24-hour period. And it is a code activated situation. So when you put your books in your basket, you need to use the code bookworm. Let's have a look at where it is on the website. So head to the website. Oh, in fact, hang on. Let's just show you a little video about it.
We've got an exclusive deal for you today with a 24-hour promotion on our books. For one day only, enjoy 20% off all of our books with the code BOOKWORM. Whether you need to stock up on Sashiko tips, want to get quilting with Tula Pink, or have been thinking about catching up with Facet's patchwork, we've got you covered with this great money off deal. Our range of books covers everything from quilting to dressmaking, from nursery makes to books that show you how to use those little scraps of fabric you can't bear to waste. So get reading and get creative with our range of inspiring reads that are sure to teach you tips and tricks you never even knew that you needed. Enter the code BOOKWORM at checkout on our website and enjoy 20% off all of our books.
Lots of you asking about this. Head to the website, www.sewingquarter.com. On that home page, that first page that comes up, you will find it on there. It's going to be swooping through on that little bit that spins around. Click on it. Have a look at all of those books that we've got for you. We've got a beautiful range of books, actually. Really beautiful. So do have a good look through there. Have a good mooch. See what you fancy. Yeah, producer Sam's going, oh, I really love that one. Which one are you looking at? Which one? Oh, that one. Oh, the red and white quilt. Oh, I've not seen that one. Hang on. 20% off that. That's nearly £4 off. That's amazing. So maybe if you've been hankering after that, like producer Hannah, oh, there's that English paper piecing. Go back. Can we go back? Oh, we can't go back now. Sorry, I was just, personal shopping list there. But so do make sure you use that code. If you're unsure how to use the code, give us a call. It's free to do so, 0800 112 4433. Lots of goodies on our website. Also, something you need to know about, well, you don't need to know, you just might like to know about it, is our subscription offer for the magazines. So the quilt that we're going to be doing this hour has come out of Love Patchwork and Quilting. If you subscribe, then fine. If you are thinking about subscribing, how about 50%? About 50%. Oh, no, hang on, 72%. God, it's getting better and better, isn't it, by the minute? So the first 3 issues are for £5, so saving 72%. So that gives you a chance to, try and see if you absolutely love it. Basically, these magazines are our sister magazines. So you've got Love Patchwork and Quilting, you've got Today's Quilter, and you've got Simply Sewing magazine. And they are how the channel came about. We realised that actually loads of you love the magazines, but how about bringing those to life with workshops, which is basically what we do here. So that was, and being able to source the fabric for you and get all of that. So That's what we've done. And so shows like today were kind of the brainchild of what we always wanted to do from those magazines. So you might have seen this project in the magazine and gone, well, that's lovely. But you know, it's like when you were a kid and you wanted to make Tracy Island from Blue Peter. You never had the sticky back plastic, right? Did anybody ever have sticky back plastic as a child? No, they didn't. And you can't nick it from school because they don't like that. So it's about being able to bring you the instructions, because we never used to set the VCR back in the day, and then bringing you the fabric in the correct amounts, beautifully modeled so that you know that you're getting colors that work together, that go together. So if that's one of your fears, don't worry about that. We've done that for you. And being able to send you even down to the thread that's going to match and your wadding that's going to work, so that if you've seen it in the magazine and loved it, you can now make it. If you haven't subscribed to the magazine yet, don't worry. It's just a new workshop, basically, that we're doing this hour. So I've got 4 different fabric options for you today. Let's have a look at the Sunrise Peacock quilt. So this, again, is Lewis and Irene fabrics. We tried to get the colorways to match here. It's not exactly the same, but the colorways will give you this kind of effect, which is what we've done. So again, you can see there's your sort of peachy color, and you're getting 3 meters of fabric in this bundle. So full instructions, and then look, that lovely spot-on teal, that beautiful plain, and then look, the peacocks. Beautiful. So you get, oh, and look at that one as well. Look at the golden here. I love the luster on this. These are your 2 Lewis and Irene. You're getting 1 meter of salmon and then ½ a meter of everything else. So that will do your backing and everything. So this is a complete quilt because you get your are you getting your wadding in with this or not? No, okay, that's separate. So you've got your thread, you've got all of your fabric that you need, and your full instructions. There we go. So then you can wad it with what you want. Because I guess this could be a mini quilt, or this could be a children's quilt, or a lap quilt. I like to think of a lap quilt more as a cat quilt, because as soon as it goes on my lap, the cat arrives as well. Right, do you want to have a look at the green one? Now, this is by a designer that I can't really pronounce. Odile, her name's going to come up in the graphics in just 1 minute, and I won't insult her by trying to pronounce it. But I love this. I love the depth in that. So you're getting ½ a meter of that. Oh, is it not coming up in the graphics? Okay. So let's just call her Odile. She's French, and her surname is not my forte of pronunciation. And again, you've got the blue that goes beautifully with that. And then you've got your lovely green, which is nice texture. This is your linen look. Texture with the green, so lots of textures going on in here, because that's kind of like a chain or a rope, or like, you know when you chain with your wool, it looks a bit like that. Then that lovely luscious green there, and then you get, oh, so your meter, that's your meter fabric, so that'll do your backing as well, and then ½ a meter of everything else. I'm going to put the meter down the bottom so that I know that's the meter there. There we go, beautiful. And full instructions. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Now, the next one is, here we go. Oh, now. Oh, I like. We have a black and white sort of monochrome version that I want to show you, and this is the closest that we could match it with. So you've got your lovely, that's your linear, that's what I'm trying to say. Then look at this one. Now this was a new collection that we only brought to wear the other day. We only launched this like last week or something. Oh no, it's lovely, it's inspired by the artist's trip to Africa. She's a Scandinavian designer, but went to Africa and beautiful. But what she's worked through is some gorgeous greys in there. So they are both from her range. And then you've got your silver spot on, and then your cream in there, oh, ivory. That's your ivory meter there. And that is your whole bundle there for $32.99. Now, so this is the one that we've matched it with as closely as we can. Yeah. We don't have the bears, but we've done the next best thing. So that with those colourways, you can get that effect with the different shades of your monochrome. Nice, isn't it? Now, this is the one that Lucy's going to work with today. This is called Wordplay. Look at this. It's like Scrabble gone crazy. Love this. Do you want to see it the right way around? There you go. Hang on, no, it's still the wrong way around. Oh, there's no right way around. That's why. It's a dyslexic's nightmare, this one. And I can say that. Oh, there we go. But it's brilliant. And then you've got, look, you've got your lovely plains, these rich, lovely plains. And then your purples in there. You see, look, don't those go beautifully with that bright, colourful print there? Now, your metre of fabric is your black there, and half a metre of each of those. I haven't seen that wordplay. That's fabulous. Do you know what? My little one is trying to learn his alphabet. Maybe I should get him that. Gorgeous. $29.99, UPGC 44. Fabulous. Now, Lucy. Hello, my love.
Hello.
How you doing?
Very well.
Thanks for not giving me the electric shock that you gave to our poor floor manager.
No, he gave me an electric shock. It was awful.
Lucy had a mic turn on. I've never seen two people jump quite so high.
It was not fun.
I don't know, we laughed.
Oh well, woke me up.
Now,
It woke me up.
Lucy, these are the quilts. Do you want to grab that one
sure.
for me? Because I don't have Go-Go Gadget arms today. These are exactly the same design. How different do they look by just playing with your colours?
And how short am I?
Hello. Now, the designer, let's talk about the designer here.
Yes.
If you've got the magazine, then you will know. This is Nicole Calvo. Let me find her picture. Here she is. Now, she's designed a series of mini quilts. You've done the first one.
Yes.
We did that quite a while ago now.
It was, yeah.
We'll look up to date.
Yeah.
Now, she was the winner of Survivor. Whatever that is.
Still
we don't get it
know.
in this country. I think she's Canadian or something, isn't she? But it's Survivor 2014.
Yes.
Why don't we get Survivor? And if not, why can't we start our own?
Maybe we should.
Yes. Last sewer standing. So with a mini quilt, what do we do with a mini quilt?
You can do whatever you like. It could be, you know, decorative. You can have it on a table, things like that. Generally, we hang them up.
Nice.
So it's like a wall hanging.
So you'd get the colourway that suits you and your love of colour.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then you can
different
have
rooms, wouldn't they? They'd all suit different rooms in my house, actually, looking at me. One for there, one for there.
Yeah. Oh, I think, just beautiful. I'm now going through my rooms mentally thinking which one would go where.
And this one is a really good size. It's not a mini quilt, you know, it's a nice size. And I have got quilts like this just over the back of a chair.
Oh, nice.
So that's another idea as well.
So this is the finished size that you will make with with our bundles today. So that's what will happen when you get this. Well, you know, when you make it.
Yes. So you've got all of the instructions, very, very clear. Nicole's excellent at pattern writing and
she's
design,
winner of
obviously.
Survivor.
Yes. And this one's suitable for any level.
Oh, okay.
There are a few different techniques, but the step-by-step instructions are so clear. I think even if you're a beginner, you'd easily be able to do this.
Now it says right at the top, takes HSTs to the next level, and I thought, what HS? Half square triangles.
I know. It sounds like something hormonal, doesn't it? But it isn't.
I'm all about that at the moment, you know. So yeah, once I realised it wasn't to do with my hormones, then it was absolutely fine. Half square triangles.
Half square triangles
are far easier to deal with.
Yes. So there's quite a few half square triangles in here.
It's taken it to the next level, Lucy.
Yes, and I think it's the combination, and so it looks, you know, like there's more piecing involved than there really is in a way.
Do you know, Lucy's are like optical illusions, aren't they? Now,
yes.
This is your Wordplay Bundle.
I love this fabric. I hadn't seen it before.
I hadn't either.
When it got sent to me, I actually did a like that when I opened it up because it's so lovely.
The whole bundle there. So you've got that beautiful, vibrant colour there. This is currently is this the most popular one? Yeah, straight away, instantly.
Yeah,
I think it's very unusual
really
fabrics.
lovely. It's nice, it's playful, and paired with the, you'll see as I'm, you know, making up the quilt, but paired with this purple and the blue, it's really striking. You could combine it with other colours if you wanted to, obviously, because there's so many colours in that print, but all of the little illustrations are just so sweet.
Hang on, let's have a look at it here.
And you can see, you see them on this one as well, very clearly.
I'm loving these colours. So there is no correct way up, which is great for a little mini quilt.
Yes, and because we're doing half square triangles, of course, the letters can end up in, you know, going all different ways, which could pose a problem, but I don't think it matters in something like this.
Okay.
You can mix them round.
What great
and not
fabric.
worry about it.
Geraldine in Mercer. Good morning, Geraldine. She says, morning, ladies. Ready for another sewing lesson from Lucy. Love the coral you're wearing, Tasha. You're blooming. Oh, love and hugs, Geraldine. Thank you.
I
Thank
thought
you
that
ever
as
so
I
much.
was watching you over there. You're quite right, Geraldine. You do look incredibly beautiful, Natasha. And this
don't
outfit.
get the hormones.
Oh no, don't! But this outfit's gorgeous. It really, really suits you. It's lovely. You look beautiful.
It was what still fits.
Oh, sweet.
What still fits? Let's
You do
wear
look
that.
lovely.
So I'm having a reinvention of my wardrobe in terms of, does it still fit? Let's see what we can
Good
wear that
for
with.
you. I remember at this point I was probably in rather large t-shirts, jogging bottoms. That was the
That's at
extent
home.
of my
Yeah,
outfits.
yeah. In fact, with a large coat on, I did pick Freddie up in my pyjamas the other
Oh,
day.
good for you.
Well, his big coat, no one knew.
Good for
Until
you.
now, I realised. Right, need to stop talking
Okay,
and
yes,
start
let's
sewing.
crack on. So in the instructions, it's the mini quilt is made up of 3 different blocks.
Okay.
So the central block you're only doing 1, and then the other ones you're repeating. So
where are these 3 blocks, Lucy?
okay,
Let's have a look.
so you've got this central one here. Okay, just that square.
Yeah.
And then you've got.
Oh, hang on,
I'm
it's
going to
different
have to think
here.
about it. Yeah, this one.
Because you've got whizzy bits. That's technical
God, is that
quilting
right?
turn. Yeah, because look, it's not, because that's just your half square triangles.
Yeah, it's that
then you've got
one.
little ones there and little squares.
No, it's there. That's what it is. I'm looking at it thinking, this is not right. So that's one there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's one.
Oh, okay.
Are you with me? So it's not as it appears.
This is the optical illusion. That's
Yes.
why you're demoing it and I'm just looking.
But I'm clearly confused and need more coffee. So that's another block.
Yeah.
And then your corner blocks.
Oh, so that's actually, it's not, I thought that was the block.
No,
it's not, it's actually
not.
bigger.
I'm sorry.
It's that.
Yeah, it's that one. With the
Oh,
grey
well,
around
that
the
changes
outside.
everything.
And I'm here to
Very
sew it,
clever.
and clearly I know what I'm doing.
Yes, yes.
No, but when you look at it, that's what I'm saying. It does look more
Okay.
like there's more piecing involved,
So
but it is
to
only
mess
3
with your
blocks.
head even more,
Yes.
what happens when you change the colours up?
So it's that-
Same quilts.
This one's actually easier for me to do that with because this is the one that's in the pattern. So this is the one that you're looking at as you're
Okay.
constructing it.
So,
So there's one,
yep.
which actually is block 2.
Okay.
This one here and this one here. So that's block 1, block 2, and block.
It's a 9
No,
patch.
block 2 and block 3. It's a 9 patch. Yes.
3 rows of 3.
Yeah.
Excellent.
3 rows of 3.
Okay. Without further ado then, let's do this thing.
Yes. So I've already cut out all of my pieces. Obviously, all your measurements are in the instructions. If you have gone for this bundle and you want to do the colours the same way that I have, you could just pay attention to which ones I'm putting where.
Pay attention, yeah.
But you can just decide, when you get the pattern, you could decide which one's fabric A, B, C, and your background. And there is room to play about with that if you want to.
Well, just look at the differences just in those
Yes,
2 quilts
totally different.
already, how different they can look.
And I've
That's the
actually
joy
gone
of
with another
quilting.
version. So the one that I'm going to make up is going to look slightly different from these because of
brilliant.
where I've put the colours.
So you could actually make this 3 times over and have it completely different every time.
Yes. Yeah. And you could easily repeat these blocks, if you wanted to make them into a larger quilt.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice. Well, maybe that's what you do with your mini quilt block series.
Yes, I would make them all and do like a sampler quilt. Although I do like a mini quilt.
Yeah,
it's quite
decisions,
satisfying because you don't have that big project, you know, it's a
And it's
smaller
done.
project.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm starting off with block 1.
Yep.
So I'm taking 2 larger squares and I've just drawn a line on the back diagonally from corner to corner, and I'm going to sew either side of the line a 1/4 inch away from the line.
Okay.
Okay. So I've set, this machine has a 1/4 inch setting.
Right.
So the needle moves over. So, it's
So
in the
this
right
is your
position.
quick way to get a couple of half square triangles done, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
But
And there
you've
are
got to
lots.
remember to do it 1/4 inch from that centre point.
Yes, and there are lots of different methods for making half square triangles, but this is probably one of the easiest.
Okay, that's good, because Susan in Cornwall says, what is the size of each block and the finished size, please? Oh, no, who asked about the... Dorothy says, is this suitable for a beginner?
Yes, absolutely.
There you go, yes. And Susan in Cornwall asked, what is the size of each block and the finished size, please? Bear with me, caller. Let me just look that up for you. Finished size is 24 inch. So if that's 24 inches, then that's... what are we looking at? Does that include the binding? That's what I want to know. How big are each of these squares? Lucy, do we know?
You don't normally include the binding in it. I'm actually not sure because you don't trim them back. Measure one.
Measure one. Simply measure
you go.
one. We've got rulers. We
Just
have
measure it.
technology. We can do that. 8 inches.
There you
Of
go.
course, if it's 24, duh.
Well, I'm not paying attention.
3
I'm
8
just
to
sewing.
24, aren't they? Sorry.
Okay, so
Baby
then
brain,
I'm
my
going to
word.
cut on the line,
Okay. Whee.
and I've brought a variety of rulers today.
No, I'm liking this. Yeah.
Just, you know, to have some options. And then we're going to press this open.
Luckily, someone has thoughtfully put the iron on.
And I'm not actually going to press to the dark side.
Oh, controversial. Why?
Don't shout at me. Only because I'd rather have that purple be the one that stands out
When have
rather
I
than
ever shouted at you?
No, I just mean in general. Nobody's shout at me. Because I'd rather have the purple, you know, the black's going to stand out anyway.
So the purple's just going to have that oomph.
Yeah, I mean, if this was a very pale colour, I would press to the other side, but...
Come on then, let me press.
Oh, right, lovely.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Let me set that seam.
Yes, thank you. And then I've got 2 other size squares that we're just going to put on the corner, and on all of these I've drawn a line on the back of the fabric.
Okay.
So it's
Now,
all in the, everything's in the instructions. It's very,
when
very
you draw that
easy
line,
to follow. Yes.
I remember one of our guests saying that because you're going across the bias,
Yes.
to start from the centre and gently go out to the edge centre so that you don't pull the fabric out of shape.
Yes, I don't have time for that. And the reason that I don't need to is because we're going to trim this back.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to trim it back to 8.5 inches. So if it does pull a little bit, and that is a hazard, and even when you're pressing, you know, it can distort. No pressure. It can distort and sort of wave. So you do want to be careful that you're not ironing and that you're pressing. So I'm going to trim this back to 8.5 inches.
Cool, you know when you offer to do something.
I know, and then you
you go,
regret it. So there isn't a lot that I'm going to be trimming off, but what I do like to do, on the ruler, can you see there, there's a diagonal line. So I line that up with the seam, and I'm going for 8.5 inches, but I would prefer to trim a little around all the sides than line it up with the corner, just so I know that that diagonal seam is going from corner to corner. I'd rather trim off.
Right.
Because as you're pressing,
Yes.
you know, it can sort of stretch out. So I'd rather trim a little bit off around all 4 sides than take it from one edge.
Okay.
Because it's that's important.
Now, I know a lot of you are going, oh, these rulers, they are, producer Hannah is going to pop these on next hour for you. We've got a whole hour dedicated to creative grids. So because we've got quite a lot to get through, we will pop these in next hour and talk about them next hour. So yes, make a note if you see Lucy using a ruler that you go, oh yeah, must have that. This is the 12.5 square one, so...
Which is incredibly useful because a lot of quilt blocks are 12.5 inches. That's a very standard size.
Because it ends up coming down to a
quilt
12
block
inch,
ends up
doesn't
at
it?
a 12
Yeah.
inch. But for trimming, it's fantastic. And obviously then you've got all your other size squares.
Yes, we're with you.
I've lost what I'm talking about today. as
And
well.
we've given you our rotating cutting mat today.
Yes, which I
Hurrah!
always use at home for trimming because it just makes what can be a very tedious job much nicer. And this is my way of cleaning it. I just take the little, you know, to get the fluff off.
Lint rollers.
Yes, lint rollers.
We've got one in the kitchen.
Lint rollers you can use, and also a tacky gummy thing that you might use to hold up posters.
That would be blue and tacky.
That one.
Yeah.
Something that could be blue and tacky. You just roll that over,
Oh,
and
right,
that will
okay.
pick up bits of fluff. Though obviously then you can't use it
Yeah.
again
No, that's all
because
right.
you've got bits of fluff all
What
over.
about kid slime? You know when they come back and they go, look, Mummy, I made this kid slime. That works.
I don't know. That's where I go. No, you can't bring that in the house.
Oh, right, okay.
They want that sand thing that everybody's going on about.
Oh, no, we're not having that.
No, I'm not having that either. Not in the house. So you can see there where I'm lining up on the line, so just trimming. It's only a tiny bit to trim, but it's a really crucial step.
Okay.
So that when you come to piece, you know, the blocks, that you're going to keep those points
and just
nice and sharp.
spin it around.
And just spin it around.
Is it wrong that I would also use this for snacks? To spin. Oh yeah, we had someone who was a cake decorator who used to use it like a lazy Susan to just spin around.
Yes, lovely. Have hours of fun.
Yeah.
I would say I'd let my kids play with it, but no, I don't.
No, you wouldn't. No.
Not sewing tools.
They're not allowed sand. They're not allowed sewing tools.
No, I sound so mean. No, they're not allowed anything that makes
childhoods
them
our kids are having.
I know, how awful. So you're at this point, and we're making 2 of these blocks at one time.
Okay.
Okay. So by doing this, we're creating 2 of block 1.
Okay.
And so then you would need to repeat this step so that you've got 4 in total of this block.
Okay.
Okay. So I've got 2 other size squares, and I'm putting them in the corners, and I'm going to sew on the line.
Okay.
So I already said I've drawn lines on the back of all of these. And I'm
Do they have to be the same size, or are they different size? Oh, you've got
They're
big
2 different sizes.
Hang on
I am
a
just
minute.
going to check the one I already did, that I'm putting that in the right place.
So if you're wondering which one is Lucy doing, it's this, look.
It's this corner one.
So you've got that bit in there, and then that, and then that, and then that. So it's that bit.
Yeah, so it's like 4 stripes.
Yeah.
But we're creating it through half square triangles and squares.
There. So it's that one there. Producer Hannah says it should just use that in something else. It should just take that and do that all over the place.
It's fine.
And why not?
Why not? So you can see what I'm doing. So I chain piece this step. So I'll do these 2 first.
Okay.
And then sew the other ones on. Now I'm doing it this way so that the black stripe is going to end up as this one on the outer section. So the smaller square ends up in the corner.
So the little one's going to go there, then that will be your black, that will be your purple, and then that will be the larger
That's
of
the
the
larger
alphabet.
one. So I'm using the print one to make up that larger
makes
section.
sense.
Yeah. But you can use, you know, you can do it
It's
however
up to you,
wish.
isn't it? It's up to you. I love the optical illusion of this quilt. Because, like you say, it looks like there's so much more that's gone on.
It does.
Very clever. That's why she won so vital. So on the line?
On the line.
So this is where you need to pay attention. It's not that this is necessarily difficult, but having just sewn 1/4 of an inch either side of that central line, you've then got to remember that now you're sewing on the line.
Yes.
Okay.
And do by all means pin. I don't pin, but...
You don't have time for that, Lucy.
No, I just don't have time for it. But you know, especially if you're a beginner, you definitely should be pinning these.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and do the next one. So you want to make sure you're sewing these in the right way. So they're following that line of the seam. Obviously.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
If I'm doing the Peacock version of this, then would I have to be aware of which direction my peacocks are going?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you'll need to work out where you're going to position them. Can we just show this one with the bears? I know we don't have the bear fabric, but it's going to be the easiest way of me talking about it. Where you've got the peacocks, I would do exactly as Nicole has done here. This bit is a rectangle, and then you're adding squares to the corners.
Okay.
Okay? So if you do it like that, you know which direction, you know, that's just going to stay because it's cut from a rectangle. Whereas if you're doing these where you're going to fold them back, there's more room for error, and you're not going to have them all in the same direction unless you cut.
So the Peacock bundle, let's give you the details for that. Actually, the most difficult part of this then, if you're working with the Peacock bundle, is getting the peacocks in the right direction.
Yes, when you've cut your squares, the easiest way to, I mean, obviously when you're creating this quilt, you've got 4 sections, so they could be going all the way around. But if you want them all facing in or all facing out, before you sew on the line, just fold it back, and then, you know, and you can see then which direction. So if you need to turn it round, and then...
If you don't want to worry about that, go for this.
Or just don't worry about what direction they're going in.
Yeah,
you know, you can, or you can not be bothered, because it will work.
It's going to be beautiful
whether
either
they're
which way.
facing different directions.
And actually, then it doesn't matter which way around you place the quilt, does it? Because they're all going to be in different directions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe don't overcomplicate it. Is the message there?
Yeah. But if you want to, you know, if that's something that you want to do, I would just lay it down and fold it back and check each time which way it's facing.
I think that's the thing with quilting. You can make it as simple or as complicated as you wish.
Yeah, absolutely. And there might be sometimes, I've just had a thought, sometimes when I'm sewing something like this, so I'll fold that bit back, and then if I fold that one back and it's the same, I might prefer to have the other side.
Oh, okay.
Do you see what I mean? So I might go, there's a lot of green in that one. I don't want as much green. I'm going to use that one because it's more of a contrast.
Okay.
So it is worth playing about with and, you know, moving things around to see where you want them.
As you can imagine, I do spend hours playing just with that. But
that's
that's what that's the bit I like.
I love it too. The joy of, you know, creating. And everybody's taste is different, so however you want to do it, go for it.
That is the joy of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Really
just enjoy it, as long as you've enjoyed it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now I'm just going to trim these back. So the reason that I just sew it all is so as I'm not confusing myself about which bit I'm going to cut off, and I just do it all at the same time.
So you do all 4 of those. We've just done 2, but you do all 4.
So I leave them flat, just like that, and then trim from each side.
And then press back.
Yeah, and then press back. Don't press it back before you've trimmed it off, because all kinds of horrors can occur. So I'm just lining up the 1/4 inch line on the ruler with the stitch line that I've just sewn. And then I just trim that bit off. Now I can sew those together and make smaller half square triangles to use in something else. Or save them for another project.
I have a whole box of those. I've no idea what I'm going to do with them. At some point, I will work out a way to trim them all together.
Yeah.
So, trim them all together? Sew them all together.
Could you press those ones out for me?
Yes,
Thank you.
I can. And then would you trim this block back to your 8.5 inches?
It should be 8.5 inches.
Okay.
Because we haven't actually, you know, that's what we trimmed that to 8.5. So all we've done is added a bit to the corner.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So
okay.
it shouldn't, we shouldn't need to do any trimming at this point.
Okay.
And you don't, because Nicole's instructions are perfect.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Even better.
So
that ruler that Lucy was just using, by the way, next hour.
Yeah, this is a really useful size as well. So that's your block 1.
Yay.
So you're making 4 of those. And then we'll move on to block 2. And we're combining different fabrics now. So let me just check the instructions. You're pairing a fabric A and a fabric B, and a fabric A and a fabric C. And these are 5-inch squares. And again, I've just already drawn a line on the back.
So you will have decided which is going to be your fabric A, which is going to be your fabric B. Look, you can really see if I pop that on there.
Yeah, how it's going to start to look. Yeah. So these I'm just pairing, and again, you can move them around to see
which looks,
you know, do you want them in the same direction? Do you want them going in different directions? I'm just going to sew it because it doesn't really matter to me. And that's a solid one.
Okay.
I quite like having things jumbly.
It suits my lifestyle, to be honest.
Yes, just jumbly, it's fine. So we're just matching these up, putting them right sides together, and then again, just the same thing, sewing down either side of the drawn line, 1/4 inch either side, and I'm going to chain piece these.
Oh, Wendy in Lincolnshire, bless you. She says, morning ladies, loving the show. My mantra is don't stress, just enjoy.
Yes, exactly.
I think it is. If you start overthinking and getting to the stage where you stop enjoying it,
yeah,
just jumble, it's fine.
Yeah. And
get a cup of tea, piece of cake.
Everybody feels differently about things. You know, it's absolutely fine if you want to take the time to have things go in certain directions. You know, and some prints call for that more than others. But this one particularly, I think it's because especially this the colourful one, they're going in all directions. So I'm just going with it.
I like that. The Wordplay Bundle is still by far the most popular. Have we had that Wordplay fabric on any of the other shows, producer Hannah? I haven't seen it. Oh, it's been by the half metre before. I've missed those. I haven't seen it. It's lovely, isn't it?
I haven't seen it. It is. It's really lovely.
And I loved it when you got it. You had that moment of, oh,
yes.
Yeah.
And not, you know, it would be lovely for children, but equally, you know, anybody that loves words or writing.
Scrabble players.
Scrabble,
yes.
That's, I can hear my mum going, me.
Pick me. Did you ever used to play Words with Friends?
No.
Oh my word, turns out producer Hannah says she has real friends. It was just an online thing that you could play, and it was basically kind of like Scrabble, but you could play, if you didn't have someone at home to play Scrabble with, then...
oh, I think that's what my mum does.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, I think so. Or the
something
Scrabble
like that.
thing she plays with people all around the world.
My brother absolutely loves it, and my friend Nancy. And they're often, you know, playing Words with Friends together. Like I can't remember the last time they actually saw each other, because, you know, I haven't been in school now for many years.
Yes.
But they, you know, they're still there. Words with Friends. Which way would you like me to press these?
Whichever way you like.
You sure?
Yes. We can figure it out as we go along.
Director Tim says, what if I do one way, one the other?
It's okay. We'll just make it.
Let's see how relaxed you truly are about this, Lucy.
We'll make it work. It'll be fine. It's fine. I'll go like that. Just press that the other way.
Sometimes it's always good to have an opinion.
Yes. Right, so I'm going to trim these back to 4.5. Just double check that. Yes. So again, just lining it up with the line on the ruler and trimming all the way round. And it's not just about getting rid of the dog ears.
It's,
you know,
actually
this is
squaring
you
it up.
need to get it to that size.
Okay.
So that the next bit works.
Producer Hannah's saying, look how handy that rotating cutting mat is.
Oh, no.
It is one of those things. I know that if ever we don't have it in stock and you can't use it, you get a little bit sad.
And for, yeah, absolutely. And for half square triangles, it's really important because you've got those bias edges, you know, the more you're touching it, the more it's moving, the more things can distort. So it's really nice to be able to trim it and know that that's 4.5.
Anne has asked a question. What does Anne want to know? Is the Wordplay fabric available by the half metre? Yes, it is. It's on the website. If you search Wordplay, It is very, very limited though, Anne, so you have to get in quick.
Yeah, be quick.
We were going to put it in the show, but we didn't actually have enough to warrant putting it in the show.
And I asked the same thing because I want some. So beat me to it.
Now you see, yeah. So there you go, Anne. Yes, but be quick.
I can just see this in so many projects. I think it's a really, really lovely one. Yeah, really nice.
That poof that we did.
Oh, yeah.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would. That would look gorgeous.
Oh, Sue. Hello, Sue. Oh, Lorraine in Cambridge says, got this, Matt. I wouldn't be without it.
Yeah.
You see, and that for me, that is the best endorsement that we can have, is when you've brought it at home and then you love it that much that you take the time to message in. So thank you, Lorraine, for that. And Sue in Kent says, morning, ladies. Extremely new to sewing. All levels welcome here. Could you please explain about cutting on the bias? Thank you, says Sue. Yes. So when a fabric is made, it's woven in two ways. You've got your warp threads. Warp goes warp, and then your weft goes left, like that, or across. So it's like that, but that's how we remember it. Yeah. Warp goes warp, weft goes left. So if you imagine, and that is your most stable way of having your fabric. Now, when you get your fabric, in fact, shall I go over and look at the fabric?
Yeah,
and then I can explain over there.
Yeah, I'm just trimming.
Come on then, Lucy's trimming. So when you get your fabric, you will get it, so you'll get 1/2 metre of your Wordplay. I think I've got a metre here, but you'll get 1/2 metre of this. When you get it, when you place it selvage to selvage, now the selvage, Sue, is these bits. They feel a little bit different, and they've got tiny little pin pricks in them where it's been held on the machine so that it's been woven. Sometimes it's white. Sometimes it's got the different colours down the selvage. Sometimes it's got the designer's name. But when you hold it like that, selvage to selvage, then you know that you've got your warp going warp and your weft going across. That's how it's been woven. When we say cutting on the bias, and that's nice and stable like that. When you cut something on the bias, you cut on a 45-degree angle straight across. So this is a metre. Here, if I was to cut this on the bias, I would go from that corner to that corner, and that would give me a bias. That then means that those are now on an angle and they can move. So if you do a bias binding, for example, then that would be cut on the 45-degree, and then it means you've got more movement. So if you want to put binding around corners and things like that, you need that movement. But it also means that by the time you've cut a triangle, you've cut across that bias, there's a little bit more movement. So if you want it to stay true, when you're putting it through your sewing machine, just don't pull it, because you will end up with something a little bit wonky. Just be careful about when you've cut something across those fibres like that, just be careful how you move it. That is the longer answer for you there, Sue. I hope that makes sense. Sometimes, you know, it's just nice to go back to basics. What are you saying there, producer Hannah? I can't hear you still. Come back to your microphone. Oh yeah, now, yeah, so producer Hannah's come up with a very good point. She said sometimes if you want to avoid any movement, we have something on our website called Best Press Spray, which is like a starch spray. And when we do Quilt As You Go, we always would advise that you use Best Press Spray there, but it just helps stop any of that movement. Sometimes you want that movement. If you're doing your half square triangles, you don't. So quick squirt of that, job done. There we go. There endeth that lesson. Now, the bundle that we're using here is the Wordplay Bundle. You get 1/2 metre of each of these fabrics and 1 metre of the black, plus your thread as well, and full instructions. So the lovely Wordplay, which has been so incredibly popular, half of this stock already gone. You're getting 1/2 metre of each of those. I love these colours with it. Just fabulous. Metre of your black, 1/2 metre of everything else, plus your thread, plus your instructions. Fabulous. There it is. Now, there we go. Next one up. Which one would you like to look at next? The Peacock one. Now, the Peacock one, oh, the fabrics in here I absolutely adore. And this is the closest that we could come to this colour range. So if you've seen this and gone, I absolutely need it in those colours, then this is the one to get. You've got 2 different Lewis and Irene fabrics in there. Let's show you. So you've got your spot on there. And then look, oh, that nice deep rich teal. And then you've got your Lewis and Irene Peacocks. Do you remember we had these in the Miss It, Miss Out in different colourways? With that beautiful metallic through there. Absolutely exquisite. That luster is gorgeous. But we didn't have this on that. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. And then you've got 1 metre of your coral. 1/2 metre of each of these. Full instructions. Might even put those at the top so I can look at those most. So that is what you're getting with this bundle, plus your instructions and your thread. Beautiful. Now maybe you're like Producer Hannah and you love your greens. I'm not talking broccoli, I'm talking here, this one. I love this though, look at the texture in there. This is brilliant. This is a designer that I don't really know. It's a French designer. Her name is Odile, something I can't quite pronounce afterwards. It doesn't help you, does it really? 1/2 metre of each of these. We all tried to pronounce it this morning in the office, no chance. 1/2 metre of each of those, and then 1 metre of your citrus there, and your thread. Fabulous. There we go. Now, if you want the monochrome, now the monochrome is the closest match that we can have to the one that we've got on the show that you've been looking at with the pandas. So you get 1/2 metre of your silver spot on. And then 1/2 metre. We've only just launched this new fabric range. We launched this last week by a Scandinavian designer. And this was inspired by her trip to Africa. Lots of bright colours in the range, but she also does some beautiful monochromes so that you can really bring things to life. Beautiful. There we go. So the monochrome, you can really have some good fun with the optical illusion of this quilt, I think. And then you've got 1 metre of the ivory. Lovely. There we go. Oh, I've got a message apparently, coming back to a message. Oh, lots of people saying thank you very much for my clear explanation. What clear explanation? Oh, of the bias. That's just it, baby rain. Already forgotten. That was a minute ago. Can't remember. Absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. I hope that helps. We forget, you know, we have all ranges of ability, from newbies to some of the people that just create things that astound me. So, you know, sometimes we do take it back to basics. Margaret, Lucy's mum, sent... Oh, Margaret is Lucy's mum. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's my mum. Hi, mum.
Sent Lucy a text message. Oh, yes, the bright letter fabric would make a lovely Scrabble table.
I could hear her shouting at me. I knew she would love it for her Scrabble.
She wants it for a Scrabble table quilt.
Yes. There you go. She's putting her orders in.
Yes, there you go. I tell you what, when I worked for the Royal Shakespeare Company as a dresser, when we did the histories, we had great long, they were such long plays, and you'd have a long time in between having to do any costume changes for the actors. So we used to play Scrabble. It was me and an older guy there, and we used to play Scrabble. The worst thing you can do is play Scrabble around actors, because they just know long, big words, and they come and look over your shoulder.
Yes.
So we did one day we just did a Scrabble just with naughty words.
Very rude.
And it was very rude, but it was also very funny because they came to look. Everybody looks at a Scrabble board. This was what we've soon realised. Everybody looks at a Scrabble board, and then the look on their face is, they didn't want to help with that one. Funny that.
No, I can't play because my mum's just a champion.
She's
so
too good.
It's just not worth it. Yeah.
My brother has a degree in linguistics from Oxford University.
I wouldn't play with him.
I don't play against him either. No.
You've got to
Maybe
give
we should
yourself
put
a
him in touch
fighting
with your mum.
chance, haven't you? Yeah. So that's the central block. So all I've done, we've made those 4 half square triangles and I've just sewn them together.
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
So it's the 4. So you refer back to the pattern, look at how they're arranged, and that's it. So that's that
I'm going to add
central block. Okay.
I'm going to add this in over
And then
here,
I've been busy getting on with block 3 because we're running out of time. So block 3 is you've got 4 of them, so it would be this one with the bears in it.
Yes.
Okay. So this is made up of a rectangle, like I said.
Yeah.
And 2 squares.
Oh, so the rectangle is the bears.
That would be the bears.
Right.
And then your 2 squares.
So that could be your peacocks. If you've got the peacock one, then maybe do the rectangle as your peacocks.
Yes. And then underneath that, you've got 2 other blocks that come to pieces. that come together to make that block.
Okay.
Okay. So, and this looks
Really
tricky,
complicated.
but it absolutely isn't.
Okay.
It's all just straight lines. It's very, very simple. Anytime, and I didn't explain this, but where I've got these triangles, it's in the instructions, you cut squares and cut them on the diagonal. So that's very simple. So you don't need any special tools or anything. So long as you've got your ruler, you'll be able to do it from the ruler.
We've got 4 minutes, Lucy.
Okay. So we're starting off with this square,
Yeah.
adding triangles either side, and then adding the larger triangle to this. So it's like a half square triangle, but this section is pieced.
Right.
Okay. So we're just going to add the triangles to this. The only thing you want to think about is when you fold it back, which way is the triangle going to go, if that makes sense?
Yes.
So you want your 2 triangles here and here so that they fold back to make,
that
the half
triangle.
square. Okay. So you sew one and then fold it back and then sew the other one on. It's really important that you press this before you sew the next one on.
Yes, Lucy. Ready with the iron, Lucy.
Thank you. There you go.
So, Margaret, have you, you might have to finish this off.
I know, and I thought about her earlier in the show as well when you said who had sticky back at home.
Margaret.
Margaret had lots of sticky back plastic.
Did she?
So, because we were forever like covering our books and all that kind of thing. So we were a sticky back household. Okay, so that's the first one, pressed back. I just leave that there, I'm not worried about it at this point. And then I'm going to sew along this seam here so that when that folds back, I'm creating a triangle.
Double check you're sewing it on the right bit.
And I'm going to sew it from this side.
Ooh.
Because I don't want this seam twisting. They're quite small pieces. So if I sew it from this side, there's a chance that that seam could get caught. Okay.
Okay. All right. You were the child we all envied then with sticky back plastic.
Sticky back plastic. Yeah.
We only ever got it in when it was the start of term and we had to cover our books. I don't think kids cover their books anymore because they do all their homework online. I think they should too.
I know. Oh, it's a joy, book covers.
Yeah.
I love them.
Absolutely.
No bits of wallpaper.
Yes, all those sorts
Anything
of
I
things.
could get my hands on to cover a book. Okay, and then you can just cut off these, dog ears there. And then we're going to sew these together. And I always do it from this side up because that's the point that's going to make this neat. Doesn't look neat from that side. There you are. So you're not going to lose your points. If you sew it from this side, you can see where those seams intersect.
So you don't sew over that point accidentally.
So you don't sew over that point accidentally.
At least we've got a minute and a half left. Watch if we're going to do it.
Gosh, I don't know, are we?
Yes. Yes. Producer Hannah's got a photograph to show.
Oh, lovely.
This is from Lucy's Wonky Star demo the other day.
Oh, how nice.
Let's have a look. Oh, look. So this is from Jackie. Hi, ladies.
Oh, Jackie. Oh, how sweet.
She wanted to try your Wonky Star, Lucy.
Oh, they look fantastic.
So she started and she loves watching your demos. One of them is whose? Oh, one of them's her husband's. Oh, stop giving me electric shocks, Lucy.
I need to wear natural fibres. It's this.
Wow, you are just electric.
I'm electric.
So Lucy's just been given, she gave our floor manager and a massive electric shock. Well, no, because you just given me an electric shock.
I know, I'm so sorry.
One or both of those, we're not quite sure, was made by her husband.
Oh, wow, well done.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that as a surprise that a man can sew. Plenty of men can sew, but that's lovely that you and your husband are both sewing. That's really nice.
Really nice. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. My husband knew what binding was the other day. I was very impressed. So I've just cut those off. I have gone a little bit. I'd probably go over that seam. I've been a little bit cautious there, so it doesn't quite meet. It looks like it meets on telly, so it's fine.
It's all good.
But if I've gone too far away, I can just go back over.
It's by a gnat's whisker.
Yeah. So then that makes up that section, okay? And then for the rectangle, I sew on the line, trim it, fold it back, and repeat on this side.
Nice.
And then I sew those together.
Perfect.
So it will be the other way up that I sew them together.
So
not
you've
like
done
I'm
one.
holding it.
You've done one here.
So I've already done some.
So let me
So
pop
you'll
this
have an
on
idea
here.
of what it will look like.
Yeah. We are rapidly running out of time, so I'm just going to pop
know.
those on there so that you can get an idea.
So you'll have an idea of what it will look like.
Thanks, Lucy.
Oh, I think that's lovely.
Let's go.
If I do say
It's
so
fun,
myself.
isn't it? Really lovely. So the Wordplay Bundle, going super crazy for the wordplay.
And it's
Don't blame
nice
you.
with that black. So you can just see I've used those strips of black in the corners, in what will be the corners. Thanks, Natasha. And that just really brightens up those purples and turquoises. But again, it's a different look from the ones Nicole made.
Yay! Fabulous. Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you.
I've snuck over here because I've got to show you some fabrics before we go. But Lucy, thank you. She's electric. Now, the Wordplay Bundle. Here it is. 1/2 metre of each of these fabric, 1 metre of the black. That's how this bundle is put together for you. So there's your Wordplay. There we go. And then those 2 colours there and the metre of your black. And that is very much in the lead. So please do grab that. Now, Peacocks. I think these would look stunning. Absolutely stunning. Again, another popular one. And this is the closest colour to the one that's on the front of the instructions. Imagine those ones where the bears were on that quilt. Beautiful. And that lovely metallic finish there. You get 1 metre of coral there, 1/2 metre of everything else, full instructions, and your thread. Lovely. Now your greens. Here we go. And again, this is going to give a lovely fresh look. Is this the one that would sit best in your house, Producer Hannah? Yeah. In the front room. Okay, no, we're going room by room through the house. That's fine. 1/2 metre, 1/2 metre, 1/2 metre, 1/2 metre, and then your citrus is your metre for your backing as well. There we go. And then your monochrome is the last one to show you. And again, this is going to be the closest one to the one that we were just laying the other pieces on top of. 1/2 metre, 1/2 metre, 1/2 metre, 1/2 metre, and 1 metre of your ivory. That's how that is broken down. Your thread, your instructions, and you are good to go. That's $32.99, XBGC22. Now, after the break, we are going to be back with Creative Grids. We're going to show you all the rulers that Lucy was just using in case you need any of those, plus more, because Stripology is back in stock. See you in a minute.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for the Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
Sewing Quarter have an exclusive, amazing price for our viewers on the Elner Expressive 920 sewing and embroidery machine. This ultimate machine is the perfect investment to help you enjoy sewing, quilting and embroidery like never before, with a range of impressive features to help you every step of your project. This ultimate machine is the perfect investment to help you enjoy sewing, quilting and embroidery like never before, with a range of impressive features to help with every step of your project. This top-of-the-line machine truly has the wow factor, with an embroidery speed of 1,000 stitches a minute and a large hoop size, making embroidery a breeze. The high-resolution touchscreen allows you to create your own stitches and designs, and it also has an automatic needle threader for ultimate ease. The machine also includes 10 fonts for monogramming, 13 one-step buttonholes, and a variety of over 400 stitches. You'll be spoilt for choice. It also has an expansive bed space to allow for quilting and larger makes, to make it the machine you can't live without. Elner Expressive 920 sewing and embroidery machine means you won't be able to wait for your next make. Head over to our website to find out more about our amazing exclusive price on this fabulous machine.
We've got an exclusive deal for you today with a 24-hour promotion on our books. For 1 day only, enjoy 20% off all of our books with the code BOOKWORM. Whether you need to stock up on Sashiko tips, want to get quilting with Tula Pink, or have been thinking about catching up with Facet's patchwork, we've got you covered with this great money off deal. Our range of books covers everything from quilting to dressmaking, from nursery makes to books that show you how to use those little scraps of fabric you can't bear to waste. So get reading and get creative with our range of inspiring reads that are sure to teach you tips and tricks you never even knew that you needed. Enter the code BOOKWORM at checkout on our website and enjoy 20% off all of our books. On Thursday, the 15th of March, join us for an incredible hour of Hexie quilting with Lucy Brennan. Lucy will be showing us how to make a classic Jen Kingwell Hexie Kisses quilt. The Australian designer's beautiful quilt is made using English paper piecing and will be a standout addition to your quilt collection. Made with bright floral hexes of all shades offset with grey polka dots, this intricate quilt is available as a kit from us. As we've got everything you need to make this gorgeous quilt in your very own home, you can sit back and relax as Master Quilter Lucy takes you through her technical tips and tricks for this make. So tune in and get quilting on Thursday the 15th of March at 10 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Hello, welcome back. Now, lots of you taking advantage of our book offer, which is 20% off our books today. So if you head to the website, www.sewingquarter.com, and have a look on there, it's on the homepage, that will come up. You click on that, there is a code that you need to use, which is bookworm. Now, this is from 8 o'clock this morning till 8 o'clock tomorrow, and that will give you 20% off our books. So, you know, if you've got a book that you've been hankering after, you've seen the shows you absolutely love, then please do make the most of that. Like I say, is just for today. So let's have a look. Here we go. So maybe, just to give you a little idea of some of the books that we have there, I haven't had this one on the show yet, but you might be going for your Liberty Cross Stitch book. 20% off that one. Maybe you love a bit of Cave. Now these are just such stunning books. All of the Cave books are kind of 50-50, so 50 sort of coffee table inspiring beautiful books, and then in the back you get how to make each of those quilts. So they're really lovely. Even if you never actually make a single quilt from it, the photography is phenomenal. I would recommend this book to everybody. I have it and I love it and I would not be without it. So if you don't have this one, maybe get this one. It's so detailed and it just has everything. Every question you ever needed to ask answered in incredible detail. So this is just a handful of books that we have on our website. The Bag Boutique is always incredibly popular. Now, this is Debbie von Grabler-Crozier. Lovely lady, great bags. Some lovely makes we've made from here, and it's always very popular. Now, this is from the same people that brought you the Ultimate Sewing Bible. This is the Ultimate Quilting Bible. Get both. Maybe get both. But again, all those questions that you've been asking or didn't even know that you needed to ask, plus all sorts of different templates, different ideas. Lots of you have been asking about all sorts of different books. And this is your layer cake. You've got all sorts in there. We talked about, didn't we, early, Pam and Nikki Lintott books. So they're all on there. Have a good look and see what tickles your fancy. There we go. Now, lots of you have been asking about the brand new Tilda book. Now, we had the exclusive TV launch of this yesterday. The publishers tell us that they will not release this to other TV shopping channels until April. So we have this. If you want to get this now, we have stock of this. It didn't sell out yesterday because we brought a huge, huge stock of this because we knew that you would be very, very popular. So you can take advantage of our promotion today, and it is just for today, and grab this book with 20% off. Okay, so this is $9.99. Take your 20% off, and that's HJFW 18. And this is brand new. Do you want to have a little flick through? You've got 12 different projects in here. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, other places have it on pre-order. Not all, but some. So, you know, just get this from us, and you know that you're actually getting it. So 20% off as well today is really fabulous. There's your cat in there as well. So then you can make the cat any which way you like. I think that You can get like dried lemon peel, can't you? You could put in there and make those smell amazing. And what about those stripy bowls, those strippy bowls? I think they're beautiful, great storage. And then you get all that colour. Now the whale quilt, I'm very taken with the whale quilt. And you can do a cushion to match. Full instructions as to how to do these. But you do have to use the bookworm code. It isn't automatically added. You do have to use that bookworm code. So that's your whale pillow. Love that. Oh, hang on, where's the octopus? Let me show you the octopus. Look at that. How happy does she look to be having her octopus? So this is brand new book. We only launched this yesterday. We have the TV exclusive on the launch of this book. We didn't think that we were going to be able to bring this until the 20th of March. So we didn't think it was going to be part of this 20%. So that was just a little happy accident, because we managed to launch this early, which took us all by surprise. But now that we have it, make the most of it. And there we go. There's your general techniques, and then on the back there, all of your different templates. There you go. So do take advantage. Like I say, this code is only available. We weren't meant to launch this yesterday. It just came in early, so we thought, right, yeah, let's get that out to you early. But this was always scheduled for just for today. So this is your 20% off all books with your bookworm. But like I say, you know, this is available on multiple books, okay? So go to the website. Maybe you're organized like producer Hannah, and maybe you have that, you know, that present drawer. Then make the most of that. Remember, it's only 1 P&P as well per day. So just stock up. Maybe you're putting some in for your crafty friends. Pop them in there. Lovely. Or maybe it's just a gift for yourself. That's okay too. It's absolutely okay. Yes. It's not about what you spend, is it? It's about what you save. Excellent. Now, happiness. Now, oh, I've only got tiny bits of fabric. I'm going to need some more. I'm going to put this underneath so you can see. These are back in stock. So, okay. Lucy will tell you that when we first started on the channel, I was terrified of using rotary cutters. I cut everything by scissors, which made rotary cutting just made quilting impossible, because you know you can't do it with scissors. This was an absolute game changer for me, and when we brought this to air, I couldn't believe it. I absolutely could not believe it. What a brilliant idea this was. It's called Stripology. We've got it in 2 different sizes. This is the one that I bought because I was so impressed. This hasn't been on air since January, and then it sold out. So we haven't been able to bring it back. So we've finally got it back in stock. We have brought in the largest amount of stock we have ever been able to offer of this, because we know so many of you love this. We also know that we've now gone onto Sky, so lots of you, if you're Sky viewers, won't have seen this. So this is absolutely fab. So this is the larger of the 2. And I'll explain what the benefits are for both. But this one is the one that I personally decided to go for. I haven't looked back. I have been known to just spend an evening just cutting strips. So when, invariably when you make quilts, you know, you will be told to use a 2.5-inch strip, or maybe you've spent a lot of money on design rolls and not needed to use all of it, and thought, well, actually, you know, what is it? I love to make scrap quilts, you know, scrappy quilts where I just use offcuts. I go through my fabric stash, and anything that is, you know, just a little bit left over, I'll cut into 2.5-inch strips, and then, you know, I love it. Memory quilts, things like that. It's absolutely perfect. So here's how it works. You've got in here inches up this side. So this is 1 through to 14 up the end. Let me just, there we go. 1 through to 14 down the edge here. Okay? So you can fold your fabric, that's absolutely fine. Now along the base, along here, this is the clever stuff, okay? Because you've got 0 through to 20, and you've got little lines in 1/2-inch increments. You also have a line here. There's a little dotted line here, which if you line up, means that you can then change it to 1/4-inch increments as you cut. Now, this key down here, this is what is so brilliant for me. You have stars and you have squares. So every time you cut where there's a square, that will cut you a 2.5 inch strip. So there it is, and I cut 2.5 inches. I move along at 5 inches, cut again, another 2.5. I go up to 7.5 inches, so I'm not having to sit there and work out, right, 5 plus 2.5, and then again at 10, at 12.5, at 15, at 17.5, and up to 20. All the way along this ruler, I can cut an entire piece of fabric into 2.5 inch strips. I think I managed to do 2 meters of fabric in 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, all cut into strips. It was amazing, and that was when I fell in love. I stayed after a show. I think it was one of the first shows we brought this to wear. I was like, oh. Now down here, the stars give you 1.5 inch. So they're your most used kind of normal cuts. So down here, you've got 1.5 inches there, 3, 4.5 inch, 6. So again, in your 1.5 inch increments all the way along. Now, what you can also do here, and this is brilliant. In fact, someone was asking on Facebook this morning about my little iPad stand things, and this is perfect because this has got a 10-inch square marked out here. So I just cut 2 10-inch squares and make my little iPad stands. Everybody got one for Christmas. But you see, I can square that up there, so I can cut it. There's my 10 inches, swing it around, and then line it up and cut again. It is brilliant. I absolutely love this. That's why I bought it myself. It's $53.99 rather, PFCQ 46. You want to see it in action, or shall I show you the other one first? Okay. So get your fabric. This is the what, sorry? Oh, this is the larger version. Yeah, of the 2 Stripologies. I've got 2 for you. The other is a 12 by 12. Now, fold your fabric. I will keep another piece of fabric, yes, to keep behind so that we can see these. So spin it around. Now, all I would say is line it up. So that baseline, I'm going to line up against one of those. Okay? And then say I want to cut this into 2.5 inch strips, off I go. My 0 neatens up my edges there. You'll see the non-slip grip that Creative Grids are renowned for. So you can just fold and cut everything. Yeah, even if you just want to cut off your selvages, then yeah, before you start, you can just do that. And every time I see that square, I am cutting. So you're saving time. You can't buy time. You can buy one of these and you can save yourself time. There we go. So producer Hannah hates cutting, but look. Oh, I've just caught one there. But there we go. So that's my fault. I just didn't give that one enough welly. But there it is, done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, cut, done. There we go. Done. Now, I mean, if I'd wanted to do that the other way, then I would have done this in great long strips. It depends how you fold your fabric as to how you choose to do this. And again, you could do this so that you have it in great long strips. It's entirely up to you. I've got a lot of those now. That's very handy. Now, let me show you again. Here we go. Here's some more fabric. So, again, just fold it however you want. Now, if you want to do this so that you are going selvage to selvage, you can just trim off your selvage there. But if, again, you can trim that off, so pop that in and then trim that off, and then rearrange your fabric around so that when you cut along here, you are actually going selvage to selvage as you cut. So just if I show you very, very quickly, because then we're going to look at the other one. Now, this is the most stock that we have ever been able to bring you of Creative Grids. And already a third of this has gone into baskets. Now, the only thing that I'm just being very careful of here is that, look, you've got this teardrop which guides your rotary cutter in. So just be aware if you might just not catch that end. That's the only thing. I was just lining that up. So let's see. There you go. And that's what I find sometimes, is that I just need to make sure that I line this up so that if I lined it up there, I would miss cutting that base. Now, if you are familiar with Creative Grids, then you will know that you've already got this non-slip. So when I put that on there and I press down, that is not moving. So it's safe as well. It's safe, it's quick, that isn't going anywhere. So these are designed by people who quilt. And again, if, you know, like there was one that I didn't put down enough welly on, that's absolutely fine. You can go in. If you haven't moved your ruler, you can go back in. So if you didn't think that you quite heard it cut, or if you actually need to replace your blade, that's fine too. Now that has just done me, that's a 1.5 inch. But again, maybe you've got something that's calling for 4-inch strips. A lot of the Creative Grids rulers will ask you to start off with, say, a 4-inch strip, or say, cut yourself a 4-inch strip. So what I would do here is grab it, and then I go, right, okay, so I need a 4-inch. So there we go. There's my 4-inch cut, ready to go. You see, I caught that. So that's fine. Just go in and just, but that happens anyway, doesn't it? But there we go. So that is then a 4-inch strip ready to go. And that's just because I lined it up a little bit too low. And there it is, selvage to selvage, done. So that is the larger one. That is the 14-inch by 20. Now, I thought long and hard about which one to get because, you know, my rulers are an investment. And so this is the one I personally went for, is the 20 by 14 inch. Okay, this is personal preference. Both will do the same job. But the smaller one is great if you are squaring up your blocks or making your own charm packs and things like that. You can do that with the other, absolutely you can. But this is 12.5 by 12.5. So this hasn't been in stock since before Christmas. So this is the first time that this has been shown on Sky, but look at this. So what you have with this one, if you're squaring up charm pack squares, maybe you're squaring up, as Lucy's just been squaring up, blocks to make sure they're absolutely correct, you've got those. So it works in exactly the same way. You've got your slots, you put your rotary cutter in, you've got your 2.5-inch markers, you've got your 1.5-inch markers. So again, if you're cutting layers of fabric and you want to cut those 2.5-inch or 1.5-inch or 4-inch strips, you can absolutely do that. But say you want to cut your own charm pack. So for example, I started off, didn't I? I just did, the last thing that I did was cut a 4-inch strip. Now maybe I want to do 4 inches, and I want to do that so that actually I've got little squares, little 4-inch squares ready to go. Then I can I can fold my fabric like that, and I can line that up. I'm going to just take off the selvage there and line that up with my 4 inches there. So I can instantly see here, I'm going to chop that edge off. That's got my selvage, don't need that. Then I go across to my 4 inches and look, there it is. Now, if I were doing, as Lucy had just done, squaring up, look, I've got that diagonal line there, so I can square things up there. If I then go up to 8 inches up here, then instantly what I have, there's my selvage gone, is perfect cut squares, all done. How quick and easy, done. Now, what I've got is actually, I've got a little bit here. Producer Hannah's like, I really hate cutting, it's so boring and laborious. Well, this saves you this. I've spent evenings where I've just gone through and just cut everything. Of course you can sort out. I spent hours just sorting out all of my fabric. There you go. And then I just get great big piles of all of my pre-cuts, and you're good to go. So maybe you have pre-cuts, maybe you've got a charm pack that you absolutely want to use, but you know what, charm packs, they are a premium, aren't they? So if you've got that with your beautiful designer fabric, maybe get some of your plain fabrics and cut up the same size squares, and then you're just going to make everything go further. And that's the absolute joy of it. sometimes, you know, in pre-cuts it helps you visualize how to put stuff together, but this is a great way. Once you've got all of your little pre-cuts, I have a box full of different size pre-cuts that I've done. I've done my strips, I've done my pre-cuts, and it's worked through all my scrap, and I've got it to the stage where it's now in little useful bits, and then I've got it good to go. So when I first started quilting, I cut as many 4 and 5 inch squares, and I just sewed. And just, you know, just sewed and sewed and sewed until I could get used to it, how to do it. And I've made several quilts just from sitting and cutting. So please, when you think about which one to go for, there is a difference of what, £9 between the two. Think about what you are most likely to use it for. This would be my big tip for you, because I instantly went to get the 12.5 inch one. That was the first one that I was like, because, oh, I've saved myself a whole £9 by not going for the other one. And then I thought, well, actually, what I love to sew with 2.5 inch strips. So I went for that one because it meant that I could cut my 2.5 inch strips. So I went for the bigger one. And just because for me, I like to cut like 0.5 meters of fabric into strips, because that's how I like to sew. That's what I like to do. So it's not that one is different, one's better than the other. They still have the same use and purpose. This one, you'll be able to get your selvage to selvage, fold it, and you cut, job done. And that one is down the bottom there. But with this one is absolutely perfect if you are trying to square up your blocks, or if you just want to check that if you're making your own kind of charm packs and things like that, then this is absolutely great. But this will also do your 2.5 inch strips, okay? So don't worry about that as well. You've also got all of those really handy measurements down there. Lots and lots of you going for this. This is the first time that we've seen both of these in months. This smaller one, this is the first time this has ever been on since we went to Sky. So lots of you coming in from Sky going, hang on, this is amazing. We've brought you the biggest stock that we've ever had of this. But please be aware you have been waiting a little while for this now. So just all I would say is check out your baskets. That's all I would say. And you will not regret it. I absolutely love it. Out of all of my rulers, and it would be fair to say I've got a few now, this is absolutely my favorite. Absolutely my favorite. So for example, like if I just take here, this is your 3 inch drunkard's path. Now, this is coming up later, but the very first thing I know, because they've put you a straight line ruler in there, I know that the very first thing they're going to ask you for is to cut anywhere up to a 3 inch strip. Now, if you're going to be doing masses of these, just do your 3 inches on these, and you're ready to go. Then you can get to the fun bit, which is all this whizzy stuff on there. Right, we get asked a lot. I'm going to quilt for the first time. This is it. I mean, lovely question earlier from someone who's like, oh, you know, I'm a new quilter. I hope you don't mind me asking. No. I want you to ask. So maybe Stripology. Now, you see, producer Hannah says Stripology is a big layout for someone that is starting quilting and they're not sure how much they're going to use it. I would say yes, but it's going to give you that safety, that security, and it's fabulous. I'll be honest, the very first Creative Grids ruler I bought was this one. It's the small rectangle, so that I could trim things down. Shall I pop this down? There you go, let me pop this down. So this is great if you're going to classes. Lucy used this on the last show. It's a really handy size because it is, here we go, 12.5 inches by 6.5 inches. Your 12.5 inch block, you heard Lucy say earlier, is such, she had the 12.5 inch square. We've got that in a moment. But if this is the first ruler that you're going to buy, then you've got a 12.5 inch measurement there. A 12 inch finished block is a very popular size block. So this is a really great one to do. But then also, 6.5 inch gives you a finished 6 inch block. That's another really handy size block that we often see. So in the half there, it's there. Now, when you see any of the Creative Grids that are either square or rectangular, there are a few little features that you just need to be aware of. Firstly, they don't slip. And that was where I had always fallen down with rulers. And that was why I had a fear of cutting, which when you're coming to work on a shopping channel, ain't great, that just sells things for quilting and sewing. The joy of this is, and let me get the 12 inch by, the big rectangular one. So pick whichever one you want. I've got here the 24.5 inch one and then the 12.5 inch one. I'll go through the benefits in a moment, but let me just explain to you very quickly a few key features on any of the square and the rectangular ones. So all of the creative grids will have this non-slip grip, and that is the first key because it means that it's not going to move when you cut, which means that firstly you are safe, top priority, you are safe. And also it means that you're not wasting fabric. So you've saved yourself money because you haven't hurt yourself and you haven't wasted your fabric from slipping, and so you're getting an accurate cut. Perfect. That's what we want when we're quilting. The next thing that you'll see are things in white and things in black. So along the bottom here, I've got this as 6 inches along there, and I've got it written every 6 inches. That's great. If I'm trimming back and I just want something to 5 inches, then I can trim that. But what if I'm trimming back and I want to end up with, say, a 4.5 block, because then it's going to end up being a 4-inch finished block. Then here we go. With some rulers, you're going to be faffing about trying to find where that 1/2 inch mark is and getting that absolutely correct. If you spin this around, then all of these in black give you it with the 1/2 inch. So that is there. That's my 4.5 inch there. So I would just square that up to my 4.5 inch and cut it from there, and I've got that 1/2 inch added on. Now the magic numbers with quilting are generally 1/4 inch and 1/2 inches. So the beauty of this ruler is my non-slip grip, which you can see it's kind of opaque. It's built in. Some rulers you have to kind of buy other things to stick on to try and make them not slip all around those places. No, no, no. This is embedded into the actual plastic of the ruler, so it's not going to wear out, it's not going to go anywhere, it's not going to fall off and be wobbly again. It's in there ready to go. Now you can see down this side there isn't as much as there is down that side. Now this again helps me with a quick, easy reference. When Lucy was trimming back earlier, she was looking for that 1/4 inch. That is my 1/4 inch. That opaque there is my 1/4 inch. Sometimes you're looking for a 1/2 inch. That is my 1/2 inch there in that opaque, ready, good to go. So these things are in there ready to help us. They're subtle, but they're in there, and they do indeed help. So all the white measurements give you your inches, all of your black measurements give you your 1.5 inches, and when you get used to these rulers, you're going to be spinning them around to exactly where you need them to be. They are fabulous. That is your 12.5 inch by 6.5 inch. Let me show you the next one that I then went for. So this is the one that Lucy always insists on. Each of our guests have their little things they always ask for. You know, Joe Carter will always ask for the water erasable pen, and Lucy will always ask for this ruler, because if you don't have your Stripology and you want to cut your fabric from selvage to selvage, your quilting fabric is usually 44 inches selvage to selvage. Now we talked about selvage to selvage earlier, didn't we? When we were talking about biases. Now, selvage to selvage, what I mean is here. From there to there, that is 44 inches, okay? That's one of our Macao solids, by the way, and so the quilting weight, and that is there. If I fold that in half to cut, which is, you know, very likely, this is how we start off cutting things, because this is 24.5 inches, when I've folded my 44 inches in half, that is going to give me 22 inches there to there. That's that cut in half, okay? So what I safely know, and I'm going to spin this around because, oh no, there we go. If I want to cut my 2.5 inch strip, say from here, let me just line that up nicely there. Okay, so you'd always kind of trim back to start off with, but say I want to just cut my 2.5 inches there. I'm going to look down my ruler here. I've got my 2.5 inches there. So I'm going to line that 2.5 inch up there. I'm not having to try and work out which is my 1/2 inch or anything like that. I'm just lining that up there. Now I would have trimmed this back so that edge was right, but what I've got then, when I'm all lined up and happy, I've got a little lead in here. Can we bring that camera down a little bit, please? Just so that I don't want to be coming in with that right on the edge of my fabric. We'll show you in just 1 second. That doesn't feel safe to me. If that were right up there, I've got room to wander around. When that is lined up there, I've got something to lean my blade against before I start to cut, okay? So when I start to cut, I know that I've got that. I can then push and I can go all the way to the end, and I've still got ruler left at the end. That's why that 24.5 inches is brilliant, because your standard quilting is 44 inches, in half is 22 inches, so I've got at least an inch and a bit either side to then be safe when I cut. All about safety, all about ease of use. And there we go, I've got my strip cut. Now this will take you up to an 8.5 inch across here. So again, really handy size. So if I wanted to do, say, 4.5 inch strip or something like that, just again, line it up. And I'm good to go, okay? And there it is, it's done in a, as we like to say, done in a oneer. And that's what we like. So a really handy one to have. And that is $31.99. So it might be that you go for that. Now, the ruler that we saw Lucy using were the 12.5 inch one. Let's have a look at that, shall we? Do you know what? Actually, these little offcuts, I save all these little bits as well because I know they're cut perfectly. Save that there. Now, here we go. 12.5 inch. Let's move these all to one side. Okay, so this is the one that Lucy was using in the last show. We had a few of you asking, oh, which one is it? Now, Lucy said this is a really handy one to have because your 12-inch block is a very useful block. It's a very regular block that you will, a very regular size. A lot will be to 12 inches. Or it might be that you're doing 4 patches together and they're going to be 6 inches each. Well, look, you've got those so that you can then put 4 of your 6 inches together. Plus, obviously, this is 12.5 because if you're cutting back a 12-inch finished block, you'll be cutting it back to 12.5 inches to allow for that 1/4 inch seam allowance. So really handy, you've got that diagonal. Maybe you're cutting on your bias. We talked about bias earlier. Maybe you're cutting across there, then that's absolutely great. You've got that so that you can do it. Maybe you've done your half square triangles and you want to line up that central line there. You've got that. You've also got your inch and your ½ inch again. Now, just something else to mention on all of these rulers, you'll see this funny little thing here. I tried to teach producer Hannah about this earlier, and she said, it doesn't matter, I'll just look on, look on the website, just Google the name. But this, if you have on your phone a QR reader, just scan that in, and it will take you to Creative Grid's very own video tutorials as to how to use these. So if you've got, certainly on some of the more complicated rulers, then it gives you lots of ideas, inspiration, different ways, different ideas as to how to use the rulers, as well as tips on how to use them to get the very best results. So that's, but you can also just Google the name and it will come up and you can go straight to there. The old-fashioned way. Now, they are your basic kind of where to start rulers, which we get asked about a lot. We've just got an update on the book promotion. So today, we've got 20% off our books. Now, head to the website. You do need to use the code BOOKWORM. Now, some of the books now are out of stock because you've been going crazy for them. So the Bag Bible book is no longer available. So that's gone, well done. The Ultimate, the Ultimate Quilting Bible, well done in getting that. But just go on the website and check whether something's in stock, or give us a call, 0800 112 4433, and just check which ones are in stock, which ones aren't, because a lot of you making the most of this. I want to say we've never done this with books before. Would I be right? I don't remember a time. We've never done a focused book promotion like this, which I think is wonderful that we're bringing it to you now. Because we've got some fabulous books. And so we've got quilting books, bag making books, dressmaking books. We've got some stunning books, Sash Co books. So if you've seen a book and you've seen it on the show, maybe it was out of stock and maybe now it's back in stock, or maybe you hadn't been paid in time to get it, or whatever it was that stopped you getting it at the time, but you've gone, and you've kicked yourself ever since. Today, you get your 20% off. And that's on multiple books. So you could buy 5 or 6 different books and you'll get your 20% off. So there's no minimum spend either. So it's on every single book that we have available and in stock. So really, really sorry that some of those are now out of stock, but that's just because you've loved them, you've gone crazy for them. But well done. But you do have to. Sometimes with our promotions, it's automatically applied. With this one, you do have to apply that code, which is bookworm. I don't know if it has to be in capitals. I don't know. But try it. Just put in bookworm, capitals, job done. T's and C's on the website, so if you're in any doubt, or just give us a call, 0800 112 4433. A lot of love, as ever, on our website for our customer services. They do a fantastic job. So if you ever have any questions, just give them a ring, 0800 112 4433, and it doesn't cost you a penny to do so. Right. Log cabin blocks from my trolley. Yes, there are different sizes here. Right. Here we go. Now, log cabin, this is where I first, oh, it needs a bit of a press, isn't it? We've got different rulers here for you. So let me bring these across for you. This is, let me just show you, this is a log cabin before I show you the ruler. So this is what a log cabin looks like. You'll have a central square. This is traditionally, one of the colors would be darker, one would be lighter. Oh, is red traditionally one of the, oh, you learn something new every day. Traditionally, red is one of the middle colours. But traditionally, the log cabin will give you an optical illusion because one side would be darker fabric, one side would be lighter. I just like to go for it, but that's just me. So again, you know, no rules. But then when it starts to build up, this is a different size one, you get some beautiful different effects as shown here. But sometimes people struggle with it, and it can go a little bit wonky. So what we've got for you are different rulers. So I've got my log cabin trim tool here, and this one, it doesn't say which size it is on there. I think that one's the 6.5, and then this one's going to be the larger one. Oh, 6.5 and 12.5 is in the, oh, so that's my 12.5. Right, I've got different size variations. Sorry, I'll get myself sorted in a minute. So let me show you this one. So this one is your 12-inch log cabin or courthouse steps. So you would start out with that central square. Red if you're being traditional, says producer Hannah. Okay. And these give you your different ideas. So this one is back in stock, and that is your 12-inch half log cabin, and your 6-inch as well. So there, you see there, that's very clearly marked 6-inch log cabin or your courthouse steps. Okay, so this is fabulous. So that's that one. I'll show you how to use it in a minute. Now this one here is your smaller one. Here we go. So this is, I think, your 8-inch. Let me just double check that. Yep, 8.5-inch, yep. There we go. So that will give you an 8-inch finished size there. This is also just back in stock. So you see, as you go around, you line that central square up to these different bits and then trim back. Brilliant. And then the next one is your log cabin trim tool, which is my little itty bitty one. Look at that. Now that one, I want to say, did that. Yeah, look at that. So that did those little ones there. So to see one of these demoed as to how to use these, we've done them lots of times, but the most in-depth one that we found was, what date? The 9th of November. So I give you that date because if you head onto YouTube and put in sewing quarter, 9th of November, it will bring you up the tutorials from that day. They stay on the website. So you've always got them to go back to. They're always on YouTube. So you can always go onto YouTube and then put in sewing quarter, the date. So if you find something that you absolutely love, or you've, say you bought the quilt set from earlier that Lucy was demoing, make a note. This is my top tip for you. Make a note of the date that it was on air, so you can always go to YouTube and watch that tutorial back. but take advantage of these being back in stock because these absolutely fly. Log cabin is one that so many people know. It's one of the first ones that I ever did. Again, because you know I could use my strips and. But this is really, really lovely to use. And if I can just show you the premise of it here. This is your central square. Now bearing in mind there are 4 of these. So that is your central square. So it says round 1. So I would line that up with round 1. And then you cut. You would cut your sizes and then do the other side, turn it around, cut, cut. And then that gives you your seam allowance in there as well. So then that is then round 2. So I can already line up, make sure that I've lined up that colour there, my seam there. This is all lining up beautifully. I can check that. Yes, everything there, they are all lining up beautifully. I've sewn on my next layer using my 1/4 inch seam, and then I will cut back, cut, cut, and again spin it around and do that. So then my next one, I would line up there. So same principle for all the sizes. This is that one that I just happen to have to hand. And again, you line it up, line everything up, and then cut back. That's got your seam allowance in, and then trim it back. So that then you are left with beautiful accuracy, which we absolutely love. Now, so it'll be exactly the same. That was your 4.5 inch one. Exactly the same with the larger one. And actually you can really see here when you start. So this will even give you your starter square, so that you can trim back your beginner square because it all focuses on having this as your central square as being the right size. So then round 1, ding ding, round 1, line that one up and you trim back. And you can see how in trimming here, that adds in your 1/4 inch seam allowance. So trim, spin, trim. Next one there. And again, I can see that I'm nicely lined up there. All of these are lined up perfectly. Trim, trim, spin, trim, trim. And then all it goes. 9th of November for that in-depth. $24.99 gets you your 6 and your 12 inch. So that is that one. That is just back in stock. This part here does your 6 inch. This does your 12 inch up here. And also it gives you the different designs that you can use this for. Fabulous piece of kit, just brilliant. Now, Drunkard's Path. This has only ever been on once. We haven't finished a quilt or anything with this yet. Oh, that's a cathedral window, hang on. I've got the wrong one. 14th of the 10th, where is my Drunkard's Path? Oh, that one, no, Start a Storm at Sea. Drunkard's Path. Now, this was only ever on once and it sold out so quickly. We've got it back for you again today. Now, if this is the 14th of the 10th, if you want to watch the demo, and we haven't been able to get it back since. So really lovely to be able to have this back on the show. But look at these. Curves can be overwhelming. We know that, we understand that. But with the right ruler, with the right tools for the job, you're going to be in really safe hands. These are some of the designs that they are suggesting with this ruler. I would really think that I'd arrived if I managed to do that. It'd be amazing. So you still have, as with all of your creative grids, you've still got those inbuilt grips, so this isn't going anywhere. And the joy of this, so you would cut your strips, as discussed earlier, say with this a 3-inch strip, depending on where you are, and then you would line that strip up. So that would cut you your strip down the bottom, and then you would line it up along here, and then cut into here. Now what you'll see is this funny little circle bit there. Now you are advised to use a smaller rotary cutter with this one, but basically when you cut in, it means that your blade will give a true complete cut because that blade will go into there. But you are advised to use a smaller rotary cutter. But then you see you can just get in there and then all the way in. And then so the smaller bit is so you can get round these curves. So 18 or 28 mil is absolutely fine for that, but it just gives you those curves. For example, I didn't cut it. Let me use one of the 2.5-inch strips. So you can see I would line that up. And then you would make those cuts. So you've got that. Then you'd need your 3 inches. I didn't do 3 inches on there. And then you can so then you can start to make up these. Imagine doing a quilt with different blocks of all of those, like a sampler quilt just with one ruler. Be amazing. Hey, these are quite regal, aren't they, these? 60s inspired fabrics like these. Oh, they have the Bailey fabrics with that. That's a good idea, Producer Hannah. So this is £27.50. It gives you tremendous scope. Tremendous scope. I absolutely love this. God, I would, yeah. Now, another one that a lot of you shy away from sometimes because you think, oh, it's going to be really tricky is, here we go, something like this. There you go. If you want to be able to make something like this, and again, I think it was me and Lucy did this. Well, I say me and Lucy. Lucy made it. I encouraged. This is your non-slip diamond wedding ring templates. 22nd of November. Make a note of that date if you want to go for this one. I've now got to find it. Here we go. And again, full instructions. Okay, my next top tip for creative grids, sorry, but there are lots of them, is when you get this, it just looks like a, you know, just a piece of packaging. Do not throw this away, ever, 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 because in here are all your cutting instructions. Step by step, each of them will come with one of these, giving you different instructions, and it gives you step by step. Now, this ruler was designed by Creative Grids, by Judy Niemeyer. Now, she then used the ruler to make this design. Take a look. Whoa! Isn't that stunning? So just absolutely exquisite. That is your starting point, and off you go. So we did like the central piece of that in this quilt, but look, she's then extended it and made the most exquisite quilt. So lots of scope to use these. You get lots of different pieces in here, and they all absolutely cut your pieces perfectly, often cutting off dog ears that you don't need. I don't know if you can see these up here. So these are all the different pieces up here that you've got. And these all come so that all of these create this ring. And again, you can see that non-slip grip on there, so that even when you're cutting with tiny, tiny pieces like this, it's not moving. And also on these, you'll see little tiny holes so that you can mark your 1/4 inch seam, so that you know exactly where you're going to. Now you see on here, you've got a line, I don't know if you can see, you've got a line that you're going to have to sew to at some point, so that you, again, you've got those marking points. So it's basically, Creative Grids is a UK company from Leicester, hence the fox, it's a sign of Leicester, and they became incredibly popular, and they now work in conjunction with top quilters across the world, like Judy Niemeyer. And so what you have is experts at the very top of their game, creating templates and rulers so that you can get the effect that they get perfectly every single time. So they know the tips, they know what you need, what you don't need. They know how to make the best rulers for the best job so that you get the absolute perfect result every single time. And that's the joy of Creative Grids. Love it. Now, this is, oh gosh. Now these are made with the next ruler we're going to show you, which is your 6-inch 45-degree diamond and Lone Star. This is designed by Rachel Cross. This ruler is designed by Rachel Cross, who is the daughter of the founders of Creative Grids. John will call her Rachel the Ruler. So these were taken from, you know, I said with your QR, if you scan in your QR, I need to find the ruler now. Where's it gone? Which one is it? My Lone Star. Is it that one? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, found it. That was taken from the YouTube. So when you scan in, or if you just Google whichever ruler it is that you've got, other search engines, blah, 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 available, they are the designs that you get tutorials as to how to make. So they talk about how to do those, okay? So lots of different options with this ruler. And so you've always got this as a quick reference guide as to, oh, hang on, what do I fancy making today? Oh, I know, I could use it to do this. Maybe just do a strip, you know, you could do edging like that. But that's what this ruler will do. Again, designed by Rachel Cross, Rachel the ruler, as John likes to call her, daughter of Creative Grids. And this is $24.99. Again, when you get the instructions, don't throw those away. But everything's so clearly labeled. That's what I love about Creative Grids. It really does help you. You know, it's telling you the finish size here, the fabric width here. Brilliant. Now, what we did with it, and this was on the 18th of August last year, and it says on my bag. Here we go. That's one. Nice. Fab. And then this was the other. So lots of options with this one. And again, look at those perfect points, which you will get every time, which is lovely. Maybe. What else have I got from? Oh, look at that. And again, made with this ruler, all made with this ruler. Oh, I like that. Imagine that as a border. Yes, that would be an amazing border. And then what about that? Imagine diamonds made like that. Amazing. Blowing in the aircon breeze. So that is your 45-degree diamond and Lone Star bias ruler. Fab. Right. Next one is producer Hannah. Cathedral window. Have we ever actually demoed the cathedral window one? No, but it is hidden under here. I moved it. I love having clear plastic things around the place. Here we go. Again, when you get this, do not throw the instructions away. Now, this is, and it says here, this is designed for use with a 45mm rotary cutter. And again, you can see, again, when you cut into there, you've got enough leeway so that the blade can go into there. And then from there, you can then cut out again. So it's perfect for all of that. Let me have a look and see if I've got the instructions somewhere for these. Stripology, Drunkard's Path. Oh, I don't know where all the instructions are in here. No, it's not in there, producer Hannah. It's not in there. Okay, so, but you will get full instructions when you buy this so that it will talk you step by step through. This is £22.50. We need to do a show on this. It's so fabulous, isn't it? But there we go. That's £22.50. There we go. Now, lots of you are asking, but Natasha, how are you storing these? You need to, when you have rulers that you've invested in, please make sure that you store them well. So don't just leave them lying around the place. So I've got two different ones for you. Here we go. This is the darker one here. Now this will fit in all your larger rulers. So if you've done something like your Stripology, for example, that will fit in there like that. Okay, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different grooves. And again, it's just a great way to store your rulers. You know, you've always got them to hand there, which is fab. Whee! You need to weight them down with the front as well. And then you've got them safely stored within easy reach. Perfect. Now the next one is the smaller one over here. And again, you've got 1, 2, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4 different grooves there. So this is in the lighter wood. Currently, we don't have the larger one in the lighter wood. So if you are after the lighter one, just bear with us. We'll try and get that one back in stock. But this is the smaller one, 4 slots, $6.99, and that's 25 centimeters wide. But again, look, we've got larger rulers in there, and they're sitting very happily in there indeed. Now, the 2 Stripologies that we mentioned today, gosh, is this the end of the hour already? The 2 Stripologies that we had, let's have a look, are here. Get out of the way again. Bear with. These are back in stock today. These have not been in stock. One of them since January and one of them since December. So this is the larger one. Now this is the one I went for. I absolutely love it and would not be without it. $53.99. We have got the most stock of this that we have ever ordered because so many of you just kept missing out. So half of the stock of that has already gone today. I salute you. Well done. Well done on getting this. You will not regret it at all because this has revolutionised my cutting life. We will always reorder these in. But like I said, these haven't been in for a few months now. It's taken us a few months to get these back in because we're what, March now? And this one, I think, last went out in January. So this one, the 12-inch one, this one we haven't seen since December. It's taken us even longer to get this one back in. So again, this one is perfect for cutting back your blocks, trimming back your blocks. It just is fantastic. And this is coming in at $44.99. Again, we haven't seen this since December on air, since December, which means that, do you know what? A load of you haven't seen it if you've been watching on Sky. You've never seen this before. Where have you been? So $44.99, HBCQ38. I hope that it's been helpful in showing you how to use this. I cannot endorse this enough. Absolutely love it. Now, lots of you making use of the book offer. Good for you. If you have any worries about using that code, just give our free phone customer services a number. It's on web and show books. So 0800 112 4433. I'll see you in just a moment.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
Simply Sewing is a magazine for dressmakers and home sewists who are passionate about fabrics and love to sew with stylish patterns. Each issue is packed with technical know-how, templates and easy to follow instructions to sew yourself quick wardrobe updates, accessories, plushy toys, gifts, bags and more. Plus, each issue comes with a free dress pattern from our expanding trend-led collection. We're proudly flying the flag for contemporary sewing with stylish patterns and beautiful photography to inspire sewists across the globe at every level. Spring is in full swing as we get gardening with Jess Entwistle this Friday, the 16th of March. Jess is here to show us how to make her gardening bag, Neela and banner, first seen in Simply Sewing magazine. These handy outdoor makes are just what you need to get you in the mood to venture back into the great outdoors after a freezing winter. The gardening bag is perfect to store away your tools and comes with plenty of useful pockets for storage. The Neela has a good amount of padding to protect your knees and your clothes from the elements. And the banner brings an inspirational message into your home with embroidered letters on pattern linen. So make sure you join Jess as she talks us through her gardening collection on Friday the 16th of March at 8 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678. We've got an exclusive deal for you today with a 24-hour promotion on our books. For one day only, enjoy 20% off all of our books with the code BOOKWORM. Whether you need to stock up on Sashko tips, want to get quilting with Tula Pink, or have been thinking about catching up with Facet's patchwork, we've got you covered with this great money off deal. Our range of books covers everything from quilting to dressmaking, from nursery makes to books that show you how to use those little scraps of fabric you can't bear to waste. So get reading and get creative with our range of inspiring reads that are sure to teach you tips and tricks you never even knew that you needed. Enter the code BOOKWORM at checkout on our website and enjoy 20% off all of our books. On Thursday the 15th of March, join us for an incredible hour of Hexie quilting with Lucy Brennan. Lucy will be showing us how to make a classic Jen Kingwell Hexie Kisses quilt. The Australian designer's beautiful quilt is made using English paper piecing and will be a standout addition to your quilt collection. Made with bright floral hexes of all shades offset with grey polka dots, this intricate quilt is available as a kit from us. As we've got everything you need to make this gorgeous quilt in your very own home, you can sit back and relax as Master Quilter Lucy takes you through her technical tips and tricks for this make. So tune in and get quilting on Thursday the 15th of March at 10 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Love Patchwork and Quilting is the best-selling modern quilting magazine that shares your passion for fabric. We publish 13 times a year, featuring must-make projects, essential techniques, interviews, news and reviews from the world of modern quilting. Every issue also comes with a free gift.
Hello, welcome back. This is no surprise to me, having done the earlier show with Lucy where she's like, yes, we always had the sticky back plastic so we could cover our books. To then have Lucy bring to her this, which is your lever arch file cover. She's moved on from books to covering all her folders instead. And these are the kits that we have for you today. So you can be covering your beautiful, well, let's face it, no lever arch folder is beautiful until you cover it. So we've got bundles that will do the cover for the outside, even down to, I don't know if you can see, even down to, you know, the little plasticky bits that you put so you can put what's in the folder in there, even down to that. And then look, you see, it's all very lovely inside as well. So that will fit all your standard size lever arch folders. Now, but you know, like the big chunky ones, it's going to fit those. Fabulous. So maybe you've got a folder where you're putting all of your instructions that you've gathered and collected from us over the year that we've been on air. Perfect way to do those. So what I've got for you is I've got bundles in order to make these, but then I've also got bundles so that you can then fill it. And I've got, oh, producer Hannah, I can't hear you, my love. We're just gonna, okay. Let's start then with just the outside of the Tula one, and then we'll move on. Now, we only have one of the Tula bundles, and here we go. So you will get full instructions there as to how to make your lever arch file cover. Now, you also get this clear plastic, which is sewable. Now, we've given you 1/2 meter of this, so, you know, you can make other things. You are just going to use, like, the tiniest square just to mark up the outside so you can say what's in your folder. So you have plenty left over to then play with if you wanted to make a pocket for something for the inside. You are getting 1/2 meter of your very glorious Tula Pink, and another 1/2 meter with the frogs. And that is enough to make that cover. Now, you will have loads left over of your PVC. You are also getting your H640 fusible fleece in there, okay? So you get everything in there that you need to make that outside. Now, and your thread as well. Now, I'm afraid we don't have the matching inside Tula bundle. It's sold out. We haven't managed to get it back for you. But I do want to show you what you will be able to make. It just won't be exactly this one, okay? So we have different bundles of this, but if you want to make, for example, and this is new for me, I've seen other people use it, but I've never known where to buy it from, and that is this sewable plastic, which is just fab, and so then you can make your pencil case that you can then, and again, we've got all these little bits and bobs that you need so that you can pop these in. And then you've also got fabric so that you can make, look at this, fab little pouch as well. So a brilliant, brilliant way to personalise, and we've got 2 separate bundles. So if you would like, I'm going to move that across to there. If you want the Amy Butler for the outside of the fabric, let me show you what that bundle will entail. Just got to move things around a little bit, bear with me. So again, you'll get that fusible fleece. You will also get, with this, again, that plastic, your thread. There we go. Oh, that's the Amy Butler one. Sorry, I'm showing the wrong one. Whoops. Okay, $34.99. Let me show you the correct one. So again, this is just for your outside cover. With all of the outside cover ones, you will get your thread, you will get your fusible fleece, you will get your plastic as well, and your instructions as well. But these are the 2 different fabrics. Aren't they fab? 1/2 meter of each of those. And that is absolutely stunning. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then if you want to have the pockets and the pencil case, with your Amy Butler. So if you want to stick with Amy Butler throughout, then here it is. Now, this is what's brilliant, because these are one of those things that I would have looked in a haberdasher's and gone, how on earth does that work? So you get your poppers, your eyelets rather. You don't have the poppers, but you get your eyelets. Is that what they're called? Eyelets? Yeah, eyelets. And then you can add on whatever popper you then wish. There's your thread, and then there's your plastic, and then there's your zip, and then 1/2 meter of each of the fabrics plus your full instructions. Okay, so let me show you those fabrics. Really beautiful. And again, 1/2 meter of each of those fabrics so that you can be making that pencil case and that internal pocket. Poppers on the brain, haven't I? So if you want to go Amy Butler, and there's your instructions as well, full instructions. There's your plastic for your pencil case. There's your zip for your pencil case. Sewable plastic. I mean, when was that ever a thing? Brilliant. And then your eyelets. So that will do the inside of your folder. This one does the outside of your folder. That one does the inside of your folder. You're all good to go. So that's your Amy Butler. 1/2 the stock already in baskets. Good for you. Good for you. Good, because it's beautiful. Now, the Flora, which is what I was trying to show you earlier because I was overexcited, is over here. Now, I've got, let me show you the outside. Here we go. So, for your outside, you've also got your fusible fleece, but that's slid off the bottom of the picture there. This is the only one that we can offer you the glitter plastic in. Do you want to see this? This is quite amazing. Look at this. Glitter, sewable plastic. I mean, when was that ever even a thing? Now, this sold out by the 1/2 meter. I'm not surprised. It's just a thing of dreams. So, whoop, you get your instructions, which I've thrown on the floor. And then you get your thread. But let me show, 1/2 meter of each of these. Look how beautiful they are. And this is from the latest Tanya Whelan collection, which is really beautiful. I love those pinks, the blues, and the greys together. Absolutely stunning. And your fusible fleece, it's all in there. So that's $34.99. That does the outside cover. Now, if you want to do inside, again with your Tanya Whelan, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. You get your eyelets. Yeah, that's right. I thought I said eyelids. Yeah, these. Eyelets. You know when you start saying a word and the more you say it, the more weird it sounds? That's what's happening to me right now. You also get your zip. You also get your thread. you also get your woo rainbow PVC and of course full instructions to do the zip, the pocket, and then also look at this, more of the beautiful latest range from Tanya Whelan, 1/2 a metre of each of those. Stunning. Yes. Right. One last thing before we get going on this. The clear PVC, we have by the 1/2 metre. So you can make up all your pockets and your everything else that you want to do. It is available by the 1/2 metre. We're going to have some tips from Lucy as to how to sew with this. I've never ever sewn with this, so I have no idea. But that's what a 1/2 metre, this see-through that you can't see, that's how much you will get by the 1/2 metre. What? Just £2.99 per 1/2 metre? That's amazing. Gosh, lots of you multi-buying this. Fab. We'll try and get the glitter one back in stock, but we haven't got it at the moment. So the only way to get it is in the Tanya Wheeler bundles. Wow. Come with me. See how this magic happens. Lucy, I'm a little bit worried to touch you now. No, I'm going to, because...
No, don't.
Even in the break, Lucy went, oh, you've just got something on your lip. Give me another electric shock.
I don't know why I even went to
Electric.
try and do it. I know.
Mwah. Hello.
I'm on fire today.
This is yours.
It is.
Is this your actual own one?
Actually, it's mine because Tula signed it.
Did she?
Yeah, so this keeps
No
coming...
way, where?
There. Tula.
Oh, there.
So this keeps coming home with me and I keep bringing it back because I'm not even going to leave it here. I'll just
No. No.
It's mine. So, yes, and I just keep covering all the files I can find because I love it so much.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to make. It's very, very simple. And there's lots of different things that you can do with it. You can do patchwork if you want to. You've got the instructions so you know what size you're using. So you can use different panels, use up some, we call them orphan blocks if you've made a block for something and it doesn't have a home.
That's
And
so
then you can,
sad.
I know, yeah. And then you can use things like that up and make a beautiful cover for your file. This lever arch files are so boring.
Oh, aren't they?
They're
just so ugly
so
as well.
boring. So this brightens it up.
Let's think. Maybe you're going to put your all of your instructions that you've gathered over the course of the year. Maybe you're going to put all your creative grids instructions. Never throw those away. Maybe you're going to put those in there. Maybe you've got a teenager in your life who's, you know, studying away, hard as anything, and you just want to give them a nice little gift to help them with their studies that's going to make it a little bit more fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe recipes.
You can write a little message on the inside. There's so many ways you could personalise
I have the most
this.
boring folder for all my yoga notes.
That's awful.
I know, I'm going to have to make one of these.
Make one.
I
Yes.
will, I
Good.
will.
Do.
In maybe calming yogic fabrics or something.
Nice. You could embroider some symbols on it or something.
I could put an om, sign
yeah.
on the front. I could applique it on.
Very nice.
On. Oh no, it's the last time of the
I
day, isn't it?
know.
It goes downhill
Just
rapidly
gets to
from
that
here.
point, doesn't
Lucy, how do we use this? Because we're going to do the insidey bits.
Yeah, we're going to do the inside bit only because I have done the folder cover before, and I did the fabric pocket, and then I believe I started making this and didn't quite get to the end. And I know that zips for a lot of people can be traumatic. I know,
and then you throw in plastic into
I know,
the mix.
and plastic and binding. So it's sort of three things that, you know, some people might struggle with.
Scaredy list.
Possibly, but hopefully not after this. That's the plan.
Okay.
So as I'm going through, I want to talk about a few different things about the elements that we're using today.
Okay.
So the first thing is I call it vinyl. I don't know. Whatever this is.
It's called PVC
Lovely.
glittery stuff.
Yes, and I've said before I have worked with a lot of different types, and they're not all the same, and they're not all the same
equal.
quality, and some of them are like shower curtains, just horrible. And you want a nice weight, but not so thick it becomes difficult to use.
So we sourced a good one, didn't we?
Yeah, this is really, really good. It's lovely to work with. And firm enough to give you a bit of structure, but not you know, it's not flimsy and it's not crackly. That's the sort of, you don't want that
Yeah,
crackly kind of
look at that, it's
plastic.
very...
It's lovely and soft.
Now, this is the only, lots of you saying, can I get the glitter by the half metre? No, 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 it's sold out. It's only in the 2 Tanya Whelan bundles. The 2 that are on your screen get you the glitter. So the details for those coming up on your screen. So the 2 that are coming up on your screen are the only way that you can get the glittery bit.
Yeah, and the glitter one is so fun. It's lovely. It goes beautifully with the
It's a
Tanya
full-on
Whelan.
rainbow.
It's really nice. It's proper holographic glitter in there. It's really, really nice. So, and different colours, some reds and blues.
No,
and
it's got the whole rainbow in there.
things.
It's lovely.
Yeah. So, what I wanted to say about this type of material is I don't know how it comes to you. I think it comes folded up.
Oh yeah, no, it does, like this.
Yeah, it comes folded up like that. So because it's quite mouldable, it doesn't crease really badly like the very cheaper ones do, but you still are going to get creases in it. So if you open that out, you can just see the slight folds like you'd get with fabric.
Yeah.
Now you can, if you're working on something small like this, you can just cut out an area that doesn't have a fold in it, make your life easy.
Yeah.
But you may want bigger pieces, obviously.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of things that you can do. The first is give it a blast with a hairdryer.
Oh, okay.
To get the creases out. Don't go really, really close on too high of a heat.
Right.
Just quite gently, hot, but you know.
Not so as you'd burn your head when you're doing it. So you'd be comfortable.
Don't touch it. So that's one way. Another way, and generally, because I did do the hairdryer thing, but you know, my hairdryer's upstairs. You know, I'm lazy. So I'd rather just use what's around me.
No Fitbit for you then,
no
counting
Fitbit
the
for
steps. No.
So I do a lot of walking, but no, not to go and
not up the steps.
Use a hairdryer on vinyl. So I use the iron.
Hang on, what?
I know. You don't iron it, ever, ever, ever. That's like the worst thing you can do. It will completely melt. However, I put a cloth over the top.
Right.
And I use a hot iron with steam, and I just go and I hover. I'm not ironing the cloth.
So you use the steam function as opposed to the actual iron plate.
So I'm not ironing. I don't press it to anything, but I put a cloth over the top just to protect it because it can, you know, it can, and even the steam from an iron, you don't want to damage it. But just with like a tea towel or a towel over the top, and then hover over and let the steam press out the creases, and that works really nicely. And then you could, you know, lay it flat and put a book on top of it or something if it wasn't coming out easily. But I find just using the steam, hovering over the top, is enough to iron it out. Yeah.
Awesome. I can't wait to see how this works.
Yeah. And then problems with it sticking, I will talk about as I'm sewing, but it's not something to be fearful of. The one thing that you really need to bear in mind is you can't stick pins in it without leaving holes.
Okay.
So you really want to use
get your clips,
not pins. Don't put pins in it, because I have done that in the past and then gone and had to start again. So don't do that.
Now, our small Wonder clips are currently out of stock, but we do have the magic clips, the small magic clips, and we've got the jumbo Wonder clips as well. So there are choices for you. If you don't already have some, you might already have some, in which case you're fine.
Yeah, I have them all around the place.
Me too.
So,
I even came to
although none here,
clipping up my hair.
I need somebody to go and get me some. I've used it I've clipped my children's fringes back, all sorts of things.
All sorts.
So this is very, yeah, we'll need some shortly.
Yes, please, we have some.
So there are, there's not very much cutting out to do.
Okay.
It's all very simple. It's 2 pieces of what I call vinyl, 2 pieces of fabric that become the edge along the zip.
Now, have you done...
Can I get that one out? Sorry.
Yeah. Have you cut those exactly the same on purpose?
No.
In terms of just the bit of the design?
I on purpose wanted to have more of the floral because I wanted to be able to see that section. With this print in particular, you know, there is a fair bit of background and you don't want to cut a bit that's only got a couple of little blossoms. I mean, you can if you want that, by all means. But you know, it's not going to have the same impact. So I wanted to keep the florals on there. So that bit there with the florals is going to make up this section here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then the only other bit of fabric that we're cutting is for the binding, which goes all the way around. Now in the instructions, that says to cut at 1 1/4. It should be updated to 2 1/4.
Right.
So you need to cut your binding strips at 2 1/4. If you cut 1 1/4 strips, you're going to really struggle.
Okay.
So 2 1/4 is the width of the binding strips. Okay. So I'm using the, oh yeah, lovely. So I'm using the Ditzy floral for the
Oh, nice. So you get to
for the
appreciate that
binding,
smaller
yeah.
print.
So, and you're going to see a bit more of this. So I just thought, you know, in terms of scale, it's nice to have the little bit around
Yes.
the outside. But obviously you can mix and match. You've got plenty of fabric to play about with, so you can use it as you wish. So the first thing that we're going to do is make these sections to
Okay.
cover the
Before we do that,
zip. Yes,
have you got your pen? Because if you've got your pen, then I will give you the other dates that you made these on.
great.
Okay, so just grab your pen quickly. Have you producer Hannah says she's got hers,
Right,
which means
ready?
everybody else has. What are those dates, producer Hannah? The 7th and the 19th of February. Of course, the 7th was the date that Tula was actually in, so
Yes.
that's worth a watch anyway.
Watch the whole. Don't
Shebang.
just watch me. Watch Tula Pink.
Yeah.
Because it was incredible. Yeah, she was really inspirational.
Obviously, watch your bit too.
Well,
Yeah.
you know.
And then the 19th of February as well was the other day that you did this.
Yeah, so then you can see me demonstrating each section, each part, all the way through. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay,
Right.
so I'm going to just press these.
Okay.
So it's nice and simple. We're just in half, and then the outer edges into the middle, and then the whole thing in half again. And this is a lovely way of just creating a little, you know, bit of detail, make the zip a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
And also, the reason that I did it this way is then we're not sewing the vinyl directly onto the zip. So this fabric sort of acts as a barrier
Okay.
and makes sewing that section a bit easier.
Okay. See, I can't wait. I've not.
I'm just going to turn that down. It's really hot.
I know. I accidentally put my hand
Like,
on the
ow,
mat
ow, ow.
afterwards. You need some of those prim silicone finger things.
Yes.
That's where those would come in.
I
really
have not
useful.
got, my nan has asbestos fingers.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't
Didn't
get that
inherit
gene.
that?
No. I wish I had, because that would make things much easier.
When I was a teenager, I worked in various kitchens and hotels and things like that. You soon learn to have asbestos fingers,
Yes.
and it's never really gone away.
No. Useful, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is a lot of ironing involved in sewing.
Well, this is just the only trouble is when you come to run your little one a bath and you dip your fingers in to check. It's like, it's fine for me.
Let's
Absolutely fine for me.
Put your elbow in.
Oh, is that why?
That's what you do. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the best way to tell.
Okay. Poor Fred. He's survived 4 years.
Yeah, it'll be all
Yeah,
right.
he'll be fine. Absolutely fine.
As long as there's not like loads of steam rising off the
No.
out of the water, you'd be okay.
Oh, Anne in Cheshire says Rainbow Wonder Clips are free with this month's Love Patchwork and Quilting.
They
There you go. If you're a
are.
subscriber, you'll be getting them. Rainbows as well.
Yeah.
And that's one of our sister magazines. So, oh yeah, no, have a look on the website because there's a subscription offer on there.
And that's quite nice as well, because then you can sort of colour code your project as you're going along. You can use the
Right.
different coloured clips.
Oh,
so.
you won't get the current issue in the subscription order. So it goes with the next one that you'll get. So you get something else. It always has a
Oh.
free gift. So, you know, well done, Anne, because she's already subscribing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now this bit's quite important.
I'm paying attention.
Keep your pens handy.
Aye, boss.
So these sections, what we're doing is we're putting them over the zip tape, okay? So it's like encasing
Yes.
the tape.
Yes.
No, it's not. We're
No, it's
encasing
not.
the vinyl.
The vinyl,
I'm
yes.
doing it the wrong way around, excuse me.
Okay.
So we're encasing that like that.
So rub that bit out.
Rub that bit out. Yeah.
Now pay
Don't write that bit
attention.
down. And then going over the zip.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing, like that.
Ooh.
Okay. Now, you've got two different sizes of your vinyl. One is smaller, one is bigger. You want the smaller side on the left.
Okay.
As you're looking at it, and the large size on the right, because this larger piece is going to bend round, and obviously we need to have the eyelets on this side to go in the folder, otherwise it would be back to front.
Okay, yes.
So the smaller piece needs to be where you will have the eyelets, and then the larger piece is on this side. The other important thing to remember is that the zip, the head of the zip, you want to pull down. So where you're going to have your eyelets, think about where you're putting it into the file, you want to pull the zip down, not have to pull the zip up.
Yes.
Because it's just not...
it's just not how we're used to doing it.
Yes, not how
If you're in
how
Australia,
we
it'd be
do
fine,
it.
but we're not
Yes.
here. Yeah.
So you want, you want to be... Have you been?
No.
Neither have I.
I'm just assuming. I know that water goes down the plug or the other way, which fascinates me.
So they must then,
Therefore, zip
pull
the other
up
way.
and zip.
Clearly. I mean, that's the natural assumption
So
to make.
it just makes things much easier, because when you've got it in there, you want to get something out, you're going to have to hold the thing to get the zip up. So if you have it coming down, so it's important that you do it that way round. Now you might have noticed this zip is bigger than my cut pieces.
Yes.
In the last time I did this, we had a zip that was the same length. And I said, please, can we put in a zip that's longer?
Because you can.
Because I can.
Why?
Because
Okay, go on, tell me why.
so often people look for a particular size zip. Now, if you're a dressmaker, obviously you need a certain length of zip.
But we're not going to wear this.
No,
It'll be
we're
a
not
little
wearing
revealing.
it. And in sewing projects like this, you can just cut the zip. Now, I know that might horrify some people, but I'm going to show you some tips and tricks of how to do that. But it saves people. If all you have is a shorter zip, you're in trouble. But if you have longer zips, you still can use them. You just cut them down, and they're made to be like that. You don't, unless it's a metal zip. I'm just going to.
Oh yeah, no. Oh gosh.
Cover all my bases.
No,
Don't do this with a.
Yes,
If you've got big chunky metal teeth, you can't do this. But just.
But the plastic ones of today, this is the joy of technology.
Yes.
The plastic ones today, you can cut.
Yes, you absolutely can cut them.
I don't know about you. In my household, in my workroom, I have my scissors are graded. That's my absolute best.
Yes.
Then the ones that were my absolute best before I got my absolute best.
Got knocked down the pecking
absolutely.
order. Yeah.
And then obviously it goes down to the kitchen scissors.
Yes.
And the kitchen scissors come out for zips in my house.
Yes, absolutely. I have been known to use a rotary cutter, but if it's my own, that's okay.
Controversial.
And I bulk buy blades.
Like you
So
wouldn't believe.
it's okay.
Because you cut over zips.
Because, I'm cutting all the time. So the first thing, we need to hold that in place. And then what I'm going to do is, because they are the same, I might, flip one over so they look
nice.
slightly different.
Yes,
So
yes.
don't feel you only can use one side. You can use, a couple of different, you've got two sides. So pick the one that you like the most.
Oh, we've just used like a tiny bit of this rainbow plastic. Tiddly tiny. You get half a metre.
Yes.
So you could make lots of these for your friends.
Yes, absolutely.
Or for yourself.
And you don't have to put the eyelets in if you don't want to.
No.
I'm putting the eyelets in for it to go in the file, which is nice because it's a pencil case.
But it could just be a normal everyday pencil case.
It could go in a normal file.
Could be a wash bag.
Or it could be anything. You could use it for whatever you want. It would be quite handy. You could just put one eyelet in the corner and hang it up on a hook for different things.
I like this.
Yes, lots of ways of doing it. So when it comes to this bit, it's up to you how brave you're going to be, okay?
Right.
Because we've got to sew it to the zip tape. Now, if you're horrified at this thought, you can sew the fabric just, do a line of
gonna be my next
stitching
question,
and have it just on the vinyl.
And that's okay?
That's fine.
I'd go for that one then, please.
Absolutely fine. And then you would put it on to the zip and then sew it. It just means that things, it's less likely that things are going to shift around.
I just know myself, Lucy.
Do you?
Yes.
Would it go awry?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You could use clips, but you're just going to have to kind of scrunch up this side. Unless, have we got the jumbo?
I've got magic clips. Have you ever tried these?
No, I haven't. Oh, let's try those because they're bigger.
Let's show you these then, because you can sew over these.
Oh, I don't think I want to do that. It's scary.
Well, no, I mean, because you can keep them in while you sew. So, like your foot foot will go over the edge. Obviously, you know, you might.
Oh, right. Well, I'm sewing nearer, but I'll just take them off as I'm going along. That's fine. So I have no problem doing this, you know, all at once. But like I say,
Lucy.
But you don't have to. You can sew the fabric onto the top of vinyl and then sew it to the zip tape. But if you've got the clips, I would just go for it. So you can see that I'm ignoring the zip head and the zip end.
Well, this is kind of good because I always get discombobulated when I've got to move the zip out of the way.
This is my other point. So if you are really terrified of zips, actually cutting off the ends of the zip is slightly easier because you don't have to move the zip head out of the way.
No, I'm all for it.
The only thing you need to be careful of is that you don't cut the zip head off. I did give Hannah a reminder to make sure I don't do that in a minute.
Okay. Hannah says that she's ready to remind you, don't worry.
Yes, we'll talk about that as well.
If we all remind Lucy, because I have been known to stand here and think, what is a guest doing? Oh, because it's a mistake.
Yeah, and we've all done it. I've done it. I am now able to reattach the zip head. I have.
That's a skill.
I know, it's a real skill. And there are, you know, different methods of doing that. But I wouldn't recommend it, and it takes a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
So avoid at all costs. So I have put the zip foot on. I don't always.
You are like the...
I know, I'm such a rebel.
A sewing rebel.
I don't always, because you can use your normal foot. However, you need to be able to move your needle over. So depending on your machine, you can use your normal foot, but you want to be getting close to the zip teeth. That's what I was looking for. The zip teeth, okay? So I'm just going to sew all the way down, and I am going quite close, but I want to try and leave, you know, just the tiniest gap, okay, between the zip teeth and the edge of the fabric.
So this is actually working as top stitching as well, where you would top stitch the...
I'm top stitching it.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Oh, go easy.
I should have got that bottom thread out of the way first, but never mind.
How is your magic clip experience working out for you so far?
It's working very well.
Okay.
Working very nicely.
Would you say it was magic?
I'd say it's pretty magic.
Yeah,
I do like that you've got those measurements are really clear on them. That's handy. The other thing I should have said, as I'm hearing this make noise, is to use a slightly bigger needle.
Bigger? Why so?
Yeah, slightly bigger, just because you're going through so whatever you might normally use for quilting, I'd probably use that size, maybe like a 14 needle, 90,
Get so
14.
confused with needles. Okay, all right.
Oh, we should do a whole show.
We should.
I love needles. I do.
You are a needle boffin, aren't you?
I am a needle boffin. So you can see...
proud.
I am very proud. Yeah. So you can see now we've got a neat line of stitching just along the top.
Yeah.
And what's important about that and getting as close as we can to the teeth is so that that's not going to get caught up. You know, that's held nicely in place along there. And then what we want to do is do another line of stitching because that is quite loose.
Yeah,
on the inside.
don't want that loose.
So we want to try and get that. So you can measure from where your line of stitching was.
Right.
To make sure that you're going to catch the back of that tape.
Can you just flip it over?
You can flip it over and sew it that way, yeah, if you want to. You have got the teeth though, so
oh yeah, okay.
It can catch on your
and also just make sure you've got the same bobbin.
But what you can do is you can see, because we're using a longer zip. Here's another great thing about it. We can see where the edge of that.
Oh yes, of course.
Where the edge of that tape is going to be.
Of course, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're just going to get it about there. Now I might actually do 3 lines because I want to catch the edge of that as well. So I'll maybe hold the zip tape down and then do another line just to hold that in place as well. I think this zip tape is not quite so wide. So I'm going to go for there.
Okay, this hasn't been scary so far.
It's not scary. I'm sewing straight lines, aren't I?
Yeah,
it's not,
yeah.
You know.
Producer Hannah is very taken with having the longer zip because that's the bit that she hates.
Yes, it just makes it really easy because you don't, you know, you're not going to catch.
Honestly, Lucy, the fights I've had with zips.
Yeah.
Trying to.
But you're not going to catch. You know, you're not catching the head anywhere. It just makes it so easy. So all I'm going to do now, I'm going to do one more final line to catch the bottom of that fabric. And I'm just going to use that line I've just sewn that's holding down the tape on the bottom. And just using that as a guide to sew one more line. And you could do this in a, you know, in a contrasting thread or pick out one of the colours that's in the flowers if you were using this bundle.
Now, you see, I feel confident to try this. I might not feel confident to do it in a thread that really shows up my stitching.
No, well, that's okay. Oh,
but, you know, in time.
Yes. So there we go. So I've just got 3 little lines of stitching along my zip, and I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side.
So not only do we have rainbow glittery goodness, it looks so good, doesn't it? It looks so good.
It looks so good. It's even better in real life.
Can you just have a moment of just feeling smug? I just feel smug.
Just feel smug.
Yeah, before I did the other side and ruined it, I would just want that moment of just feeling smug because I just managed that.
Okay, so now we are going to have to wing it. The other thing you could do is glue-based.
Oh, no, I like a bit of glue-basting.
Because it's fabric onto the tape, you can glue-based, and that's just going to hold that in place while you sew. And you can sew over it, no problem. You just don't want to use, you know, don't be heavy-handed with it. And then now when I'm sewing this section on, I want to be really mindful that these are lining up.
I'm giggling because producer Hannah's going, oh, my word, I really love you, Lucy, because this is the bit of my project I got stuck on. So she's an Exie up there. She was trying to pin it and it wasn't working.
No, don't pin it.
Don't pin. Hannah, don't
so
pin.
Every time you move it, you're at risk of it shifting.
Oh.
Okay. So all you want to do is you can feel that the vinyl's in there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because that's a folded edge.
Yes.
That's going along the zip. You can feel that it's, you know, nesting up.
I'd be getting my glue pen out. I'm not going to lie.
You can get your glue pen out. That's
I'd get it out for so many different gluey things.
That's absolutely fine. But it's not big enough that this is difficult to do.
No.
I'm just holding it in place.
Yes.
I'm holding it there at the bottom. I've got the glitter sandwiched in the middle.
When we first came to Air as a channel, and I'm racking my brains trying to think which designer it was, but she arrived and just produced this great big folder that just had loads of pockets like this in it. And she'd made it all herself. And all of her quilting things, they were all in there, all looking fabulous. And because it was your PVC, you could see everything that was in there.
Yes.
We all had folder envy. I'm not going to lie, we all had folder envy. Like, that is amazing. I whipped it up myself. And I can't remember, I'm trying to think with the life of me who it was.
I don't know. I've not seen it.
No, you see, director Tim says, is that actually a real thing, Natasha, folder envy? Anybody that loves their stationery knows yes. Yes, it is.
Yes,
I love my stationery. I hated going back to school, but I loved the planning of going back to school because I could get new pens, I could get new folders, I could get new, it was brilliant.
Yeah, I love that.
And getting the right pen.
And autumn is still like my favourite time of year because of stationery.
Really?
Yes.
Brilliant.
And all the stationery sales that occur and everything.
I'm going to leave you with that thought, that reminiscent, while I go and have a look at the bundles over there. She's just going to stitch that third row of zip. All right. Excellent. Right. Where to start? the floral pocket bundle that we're working with at the moment. Oh yeah, there we go. So we've got the zip that Lucy's busy zipping in at the moment. We've got the thread. We've got the eyelets. Hooray! We've got the full instructions as well, which is really rather brilliant. And you've also got glittery grit. You get a load of this. I mean, you're going to have so much left over. It's just fabulous. I would be making makeup bags and all sorts out of that. Because it's waterproof, isn't it? Yeah. And then you get 1/2 metre of each of these gorgeous Tanya Whelans. $32.99. What a fab piece of kit. We don't have that glittery one any other way, by the way. It's just in those kits. Now, that's for the inside of your folder. If you want to do the outside of the folder, and again, sticking with the same fabric from the Tanya Whelan range, and this is her latest collection, then full instructions, and again, you've got your glittery PVC vinyl-y stuff as well, as Lucy likes to call it. Then you've also got 1/2 metre and 1/2 metre of stripes. I love the stripes, love that. And you're also getting your fusible fleece, which I can't imagine you're going to use all of in this. So again, you're going to have lots left over to play with. Now, in this, you use like that much of your 1/2 metre of the plastic. So you do then have chance to use the rest of it to have a play. Ba, 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 ba. That's a technical term. Ba, 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 ba. Right. Amy Butler. Amy Butler. Let's have a look at the Amy Butler. So Amy Butler outside of the folder. Thread, clear plastic, not the glittery one with this one, clear plastic with this one. Full instructions. This is from the Night Music range. 1/2 metre. And then another 1/2 metre. Stunning, stunning, stunning. And then, obviously, all of your fusible fleece. Instructions, plastic, thread, everything. $34.99. Fabulous. Now, your inside pocket, if we're sticking with Amy Butler, then again, plastic, you need that. You're going to have so much plastic if you bought them both. And also you get your eyelets. And you also, now, you see, this is worth saying, that yes, we're focused on the pencil case, but you also, of course, get the fabric for the pouch as well. Half the stock of this is gone. That's your Amy Butler, beautiful. Lovely, lovely. $32.99, half the stock of that has gone. What else to show? Oh, and your Tula. Now, we only have the Tula Pink outside bit. So again, you will get all of your interfacing, all of your instructions. You will also get your plastic, your thread. You're also going to, look, and this is the fabric that Lucy made hers from. So if you want to make yours like Lucy's, obviously yours won't be signed by Tula Pink, unless you know her. There we go. So there are your two. Now, the dates were the 7th and the 19th of February for these shows, and they will show you how to do the other bits, because this is a lovely project. So lots of different skills to learn and lots of ways to just cheer up those boring files. Nice. Maybe it's your accounts. I might actually want to do my tax. No.
No.
No. What am I saying?
No, you have to put something fun in there. Okay, so moving on, because I want to get onto the binding. This is the really important part, so that we don't chop off our zip head, okay?
Yes.
You want to move your zip head to make sure that you're not going to chop it off, because we need to chop off these extra parts. So what I'm doing now, I've moved the zip head to just slightly past the edge.
Yeah.
Okay, this edge here. And then put the ends of the zip together. Sorry, I forget I'm on telly. Put the ends of the zip together, just hold them together, and I'm just hand sewing, just tacking, okay?
Oh, so they don't
just
come apart.
Around the teeth. So just a few tacking stitches around the teeth to hold it in place, so that as I'm putting the binding on, Okay, that's not going to come apart, you know,
Right,
that
yes.
edge isn't going to come
Yes.
apart because it makes it difficult.
Do you have to do it the other end as well?
I'm going to do it the other end
Okay.
as well, just in case we don't want it separating.
Okay.
Now you can do this by machine.
Okay.
So if you just want to run over the edges, what I find though is it's very hard to keep them close enough together.
Right, but you can
they
do
do
that with
want
your
to
hand.
separate, so I prefer to do it by hand. But if you're happy, you can go ahead and just run a little stitch along.
do
So
that.
it's easier on this
Yeah,
side
'cause
where
it's
they're
already-
held closed. You could just run over it with your machine, but go slow and just mind you
Lucy,
don't
was this
break your
all
needle.
your actual design? This was
Yeah.
this was all yours.
Yeah.
Good, because Christine in North Yorkshire says, watching avidly. Any chance Lucy could come up with a similar for a box file? Says Christine. So, you know, she raises the game there.
Okay.
There are so many stationery needs out there.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be working on dividers, making pretty dividers. I'm working on that. Box file, I'll have a think, Christine. I shall think on it. Yes. Just happy to cover everything in fabric, quite honestly.
Would you like to become the pretty stationery queen? Because I feel that you are fast becoming that way.
Yes,
Would that be
please.
like a life dream?
Yes, please. Yes,
Okay.
that would make me very happy.
And maybe we'll just go on a little shopping trip hand in hand in September together.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So you're going to open that out
Yes.
because you still, you know, you've got to trim the sides and you don't want that going near. Now, I haven't got a pair of big scissors. I'm going to have a go with these. If it doesn't work, I might have to end up using the rotary cutter. But all we're going to do is just trim that
Oh,
level.
there you go. Perfect.
Now, if your edges have shifted,
Yeah.
just straighten this up.
No one knew how big it was going to be to
No,
start off with.
what this size is doesn't matter. You don't want to cut it down really tiny because then you're not going to have a big enough, you know, pencil case. But if you need to neaten up this edge,
That's fine.
go right ahead. It's absolutely fine.
Okay.
Because things, you know, it is. Oh, gee, I was like that, gritting my teeth.
I know.
It's absolutely fine. It's really, really easy to cut off the zips. So let me just, does that need, just level it off a little bit. The other thing is we're covering it in binding anyway. So if it's a little bit off, it doesn't matter. So here's where the sort of magic bit happens. So this side's going to be our edge where the eyelets are going.
Yes.
Okay. And then all we're going to do is fold the larger side,
Yes.
this edge round to meet this edge. Okay. So that's the back,
Oh.
and then that's the front, and that's it.
Then just bind.
That's it, and then we just bind it. Okay. So you can just fold this.
You see, why did I assume that the eyelets would go in that side?
No, not.
No.
No.
Oh gosh. Okay. No. That's.
Eyelets on this. Should we get the other one out again just to show? I just like to keep getting it out.
I feel like there's.
Oh look, here's my
there's-
signed fold.
Yay! Now, why? Why can't
There
I
we go.
put them in there, Lucy? Why not? Because you were
Well,
quite.
Yeah, I mean, you can. You've only just got enough space. Once the binding's gone on, you won't.
Oh, okay.
And then the eyelet's going to be covering up your fabric. If you wanted to make this piece bigger than my measurements, and then you give yourself room to put them in here, you can.
You can, right. She's
but
telling
it's-
us she doesn't like it like that. So.
But it's actually easier if you've got things in there. You don't want a zip to be.
No, okay, I'm with you.
Are you
You've
with
thought
me?
about this.
Because then you open it and then you're putting your stuff in there.
I'm not questioning the beautiful stationery queen, by the way. Just so you know. I wouldn't dare. Jane in South Yorkshire says, good morning, ladies. Loving the folder idea. I would use this for my sewing projects, especially English paper piecing. Loving the show.
Yes,
Thank you, Jane.
lovely. It's
Perfect.
lovely. It's a really nice
I was
project for that.
rummaging under the coffee table for some lost Lego. This is
as
my
you do.
life, yeah. And came across a couple of hexies that I'd done that had obviously slipped under there as well.
Yeah.
So you see, had I got that folder, then I wouldn't have had to have rummaged underneath the coffee table.
I have found pieces
It wasn't elegant, not
all
gonna lie.
over the place.
Yeah.
I'm just going to change my foot back to my normal foot. And we're going to do binding. Now, you can
Okay.
use your normal foot or you can use a walking foot if you prefer. But again, like I've said, you want a larger needle in your sewing machine.
Okay.
Okay, it's just going to make your life easier.
Okay. Jane in Kent says, how about a sewing and quilting journal, Lucy?
Okay. Happy to do that.
You're going to have to come back a lot.
I know.
aren't you?
I love it. All stationery things. I love, love, love. Okay, so I'm going to do binding. All I've done, 2 1/4, not 1 1/4, 2 1/4 strip.
Has that been
full-
put right in these?
No, it wasn't in the one that was sent to me, but
Okay.
so it's the full width of the fabric. I haven't trimmed the selvages off, and that's because I'm going to trim it shortly. So
Yeah.
I like to start on that where you've got those 2 open edges. Okay, so not on the zip side, but where I've got 2 open edges. I leave myself a little bit of a tail on the binding, and then I just go for it.
Yeah, no, it
Okay.
hasn't. I don't know if your instructions will have been corrected or not, but it should be 2 1/4
2
on the
1/4.
pencil case binding. So just make it again. Just make a little note of that. Sorry about that. We're human.
So
How
yeah,
dare
we're
we?
human. So what you're going to do now is put the binding around. Now I just sew it and do it as I'm, miter my corners as I'm going. But if you want to clip it all in place, that's absolutely fine. So we're just going to miter the corners in exactly the same way that we would a quilt. So we've got an angle here, we've folded the binding out level with this edge, and then we fold it back on itself to create like a little tuck that's going to become our mitered corner when we turn it over.
Okay.
Okay, and you can you can see why I don't do this. Then you just clip it in place, and you can just do that all the way around to get your binding attached to the front. And then, so you're just sewing a 1/4 inch seam, and then you're just going to fold it over, turn it back, and machine from the other side to hold it in place.
Okay.
But you want to be going over the binding, not on the binding, if that makes sense. You need to be sewing on the binding, like a top stitch.
Right, so
Like a
you'll
top
have,
stitch.
so you'll see 2 stitches.
Yeah.
There.
Now, if you're very happy doing binding, you could do, you could be folding and clipping and do the whole lot at once.
Whoa.
But I don't think it's very neat. I can't get it done very neatly. So I
Okay.
still do it the same way I would a quilt, attach it to one side and then turn it round and
then-
sew. So I'll make a start and
Okay.
see how far I can get. And when I
How
come
long have
round...
we got, by the way, Hannah? Less than 8 minutes.
Ah, okay.
Oh, on the entire show.
Right.
So about 4 minutes with you.
Okay. See, I don't clip my binding, I just fold it as I approach the corner.
It would be fair to say you've done a spot of binding or
I've done a
two.
little bit of binding before, yes. Now, up until now, we've not had the, glittery vinyl on the machine. This is the point at which it can get a little bit sticky. So as you're sewing along, if you're finding it sticky, just raise it up slightly, especially if it's like you're doing this on a hot day. We're fine, we've got air conditioning, but just lift it up, because this is where it's sticking. It's not actually, it doesn't tend to be sticking to the plate so much.
Now, lovely Wendy in our office
Yes.
had another top tip for that.
Yes.
She said if you find it does stick, just put a layer of thin paper,
Yeah, tissue paper works
tissue paper or
best.
something like that
Yeah.
underneath, and then it just, where you've sewn it, it acts as a perforation, you can just rip it out.
Yeah.
But then it stops it from sticking, so maybe that's something you want to do.
You also can put masking tape over your machine, because it won't stick to the paper.
On the base, not on the foot.
Not on your foot, on the base. You can put masking tape on the bottom of your. See, we're not sewing directly onto it.
yeah.
If you're going to sew directly onto it, you can put a little bit of masking tape on the bottom of your foot. Cover the bottom of your machine foot, and that will help it not stick.
At one of the shows, I saw Teflon feet,
Yes.
and so I want to get hold of some of those.
Yeah. I haven't used one, but.
Marcia says, morning ladies, I keep my patterns in a folder like that, printed PDF patterns. But like the ones that you get from us, Marcia, those ones. Oh, you can download PDF ones as well. From elsewhere? What?
Is this where I plug my blog? No.
Yeah, what? Yeah. Yeah, actually, producer Hannah says that because she's a bit into her foundation paper piecing at the moment, and she says that she downloads a lot of PDF-y things.
Yeah, I do. I have a lot of patterns, a lot of PDF patterns. And it's nice to print them out and actually have them, because then you're more likely to use them. If they're just on your computer, you don't. It's like photographs, isn't it? You don't see them. You're not getting all the enjoyment.
I print them off each month.
Pictures,
photos.
do you? That's nice.
So I now have so many photo albums.
I think that's lovely. You don't see photo albums a lot anymore, do you?
No. Now, the bundle that Lucy is using at the moment is your Tanya Whelan internal bundle, if you want, which is your lever arch pocket and pencil case kit. Lots of you have this in your basket, but the only way to secure it, as we all know, is to check out that basket. And that is $32.99. But my word, have you got lots left over to play with.
Yes.
We've started, obviously, with the pencil case, but obviously this also gives you instructions for the pocket as well, which is fab. Now, if you want the outside, like this, then, Lucy, we are going to have to go in a minute. But
okay, so as you get to the end, you've got your two binding tails. Just bump them up against each other.
Yeah.
And then fold it back, take it to your sewing machine and sew along that crease. That's going to finish off your binding. And then...
Producer Hannah says you can show us. We're going to stay with you.
Oh, right. And then you can just fold it. You know, you fold it round and sew it from that side. Okay, stay with me.
So whilst you start to do that, let me give you the details for the outside of the Tanya Whelan. Sorry, a little miscommunication there. So $34.99 gives you the outside, the matching, coordinating Tanya Whelan outside of your folder, which is $34.99. XLGC11 is your code for that. Nice. So once you've done all your fancy folding...
Yeah, and I haven't left myself very much room. You should really, in fact, I need to do that again. You want to give yourself plenty of room so that you can match this up. So stop stitching far enough away to give yourself room to finish off your binding tails.
Right.
That's like rule number 1 that I've just broken.
Okay. Oh, stop stitching far enough away. I see what you mean.
Stop stitching far enough away because you've got to finish off that binding, okay? And then what I do is take it back, check that that's right, and then trim that back with a 1/4 inch seam. Okay, and then open those out, and I can take that back and just finish sewing along here.
That's very neat. That's not how my binding has happened, and so it hasn't been neat like that.
I always check though before I carry on sewing.
Yeah.
And actually, I think I might have a little bit of a bump there.
Okay, well, whilst you sew that, let me show you what is coming up tomorrow. That quilt behind me is coming up tomorrow. Here we go. 8 a.m. quilting and applique masterclass with Lucy. Fabulous. 9 a.m. must-have quilting tools. Let us show you what is our top things. Hexie Kisses quilt, that's the one behind me, that's 10 a.m. And then 11 a.m. traditional quilting fabrics. So it's all about your quilting tomorrow. How fabulous is that? Lucy, thank you.
Thank you. So just fold it over and then stitch from that side.
So fold over and stitch.
And then you're done.
Can we see that? Hang on, very, very quickly.
Yes.
Fold over.
Yeah.
Like that. And stitch.
Yeah.
One last thing to mention whilst you do that is our book promotion. Lots of you taking full advantage. It is only for today. It runs 24 hours from 8 o'clock this morning to 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Well, 7:59 tomorrow. And that's 20% off all of the books that we have. I mean, you are stripping us of books as we speak. So there are some that are out of stock. But use that code BOOKWORM to get your 20% off. We'll run all the details at the end of the show, so you can have a look at that. Lucy, thank you.
Thank you.
So much. Lots of you need to check out your basket, especially on the Stripology. Gosh, it's been a few months since we had those.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yes, it absolutely is. So make the most of that. Make the most of these and getting your glittery PVC and getting your plain one by the 1/2 metre. Just fill your boots, fill your baskets,
And I'm
check
very
it out.
excited about tomorrow.
I know, I can't wait. We will see you tomorrow. Have a lovely rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We've got an exclusive deal for you today with a 24-hour promotion on our books. For one day only, enjoy 20% off all of our books with the code BOOKWORM. Whether you need to stock up on Sashiko tips, want to get quilting with Tula Pink, or have been thinking about catching up with Facet's patchwork, we've got you covered with this great money off deal. Our range of books covers everything from quilting to dressmaking, from nursery makes to books that show you how to use those little scraps of fabric you can't bear to waste. So get reading and get creative with our range of inspiring reads that are sure to teach you tips and tricks you never even knew that you needed. Enter the code BOOKWORM at checkout on our website and enjoy 20% off all of our books.